Good morning, Grand Rising. Hope everything went well for you these past couple of days. There's a lot going on with this 45-47 administration, so let's talk about a few things, shall we? A, a couple of things that I do want to go over for sure is this economy. This economy that is in the toilet. Now, we do know that he had Elon Musk, that unelected bureaucrat, go in to take away all the alleged bureaucracy that was in our American government. And who was hurt the most were educated black women. Over 200,000 educated black women lost their jobs. In his bid for the presidency, he said that he was going to do mass deportations uh, because undocumented immigrants had taken black jobs. So I'm wondering, did non-black people think that black people had jobs that they didn't deserve, and therefore he was going to get rid of the undocumented immigrants who were doing jobs like that kept you below the poverty level jobs, and those jobs that he called black jobs. So did some people think that he was going to put black people back in the fields picking fruit and all of that type of stuff, and then you would get these black jobs? Because now we understand that uh, white people are victims. Now it's the victimhood of it all that white people are going through. You even have your EEOC coming to you and telling you to file claims of discrimination on your jobs that you don't have. I guess you thought you were going to get those black jobs that they got rid of with this DEI. Every black person who had a job was a DEI hire, whether it had been in the government, universities, or private life. Every black person who had a job was a DEI job. So I guess y'all was rubbing your chops together to get these jobs that they were going to eliminate because of DEI. Not only did they eliminate the black people having these jobs, they eliminated the jobs in total. So, how did that benefit you for having more people in the United States being unemployed? Is my question. What you thought that you were going to get these jobs that you weren't qualified for? Because if you had been qualified for it, you'd have gotten them in the first place. Is that what you thought? You thought that they were going to say, do what they always do what they did in the administration, in all the cabinet positions, know that you're unqualified and give you the job anyway? Hmm. Is that what you guys thought was going to happen in this administration? You thought that they were going to have a immigrant from South Africa who his brother proclaimed that they were living in America illegally. You thought that they were going to get this immigrant to free up jobs for you. Hmm. This immigrant who is the biggest welfare king in the United States, who gets so much money from government contracts. Y'all thought that he was going to look out for you? Y'all thought this administration was going to look out for you when they have a somebody who was willing to live in this country undocumented and uh, suck up everything this country has, including corporate welfare? Y'all thought that this person, that it would work out fine for you. This is what amazes me. You thought that it would work out fine for you. How's it working out? I'm really curious. Let me share a few things. Let me share a few things. It's working out well for Elon Musk. It is definitely working out well for him. It's working out so well that Elon Musk is doing a lot of hiring. He's in a competition with AI and who can who can build the best drones. He's having actual competitions, and he needs workers. He needs workers to help him build chips. He's in the chip building business and all of this. SpaceX to compete in Pentagon contests for autonomous drone tech. Autonomous. Autonomous means what? That there's no human hand on it. The drone is making all of the decisions. You know, that technology that they were using over in Palestine with those drones that were hunting down Palestinians who were hiding from war. Okay, so why is the Pentagon having a contest? Now, if you are unaware, you surely watch other channels than my channel. That Pete Kegbreath has simplified the process to get these war fighting uh, machines. He has simplified the process so as soon as his unqualified mind believes that a weapon is worth the Pentagon purchasing it, they will be purchasing these weapons without going through all the prior procurement uh, details and hurdles that they had to go to procure all these weapons. What are we procuring all these weapons for? You ever think about that? I'm sure a lot of you guys haven't thought about that. But let me. Elon Musk. Hold on. Elon Musk, SpaceX, and its XAI subsidiary are competing in a secret new Pentagon contest to produce voice controlled autonomous drone swarming technology. Swarming. They're going to send a whole swarm of drones out. Drones out where? Where these drones are going to be swarming at? Probably in the same places they're building all these detention camps for these alleged undocumented immigrants that they're deporting. So why the detention camps? Hey, do with that as you will. Play stupid and remain stupid at your own peril. Okay, okay. Elon Musk. Swarming technology, a Bloomberg News reported on Monday, citing people familiar with the matter. SpaceX and XAI and the Pentagon Defense Innovation Unit did not immediately respond to requests for comments. Rutgers could not uh, independently veri- verify the post. The Texas-based SpaceX recently acquired XAI in a deal. This billionaire is always procuring his own companies. One company is always buying another one of his companies at an exorbitant price to keep the stock market going. So when Pam Bimbo shows up to a hearing about children being SA'd by rich billionaires, she can divert and tell you that the stock market is at 50. This type of shit. So SpaceX recently acquired XAI in a deal that combined Musk's major space and defense contractors with the billionaire entrepreneurial artificial intelligence startup. It occurred ahead of SpaceX planned initial public offering this year. Musk companies are reportedly among a select few chosen to participate in the $100 million prize challenge initiated in January, according to Bloomberg. The 6 months competition aims to produce advanced swarming technology that can translate voice command into digital instructions and run multiple drones, the report said. Musk was among a group of AI robotics researchers who wrote an open letter in 2025, however, that advocated a global ban on offensive autonomous weapons, arguing against making new tools for killing people. So the same thing that he wrote a letter about in 2015, he is now creating for the U.S. government. The U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Kegbreath last year outlined a new strategy to accelerate drone and development by aiming to cut bureaucracy and boost domestic drone manufacturing. The U.S. also has been seeking safe and cost effective ways to neutralize drones, particularly around airports and large sporting events, a concern that has become more urgent ahead of the FIFA World Cup and America's 250th anniversary celebration. So it's about safety. You tell palm colored people anything's about safety, and they'll be like, "Yeah, go ahead, we America. Yeah, we say we America." You just tell certain people it's about safety, and they will give you the go ahead. They will be right behind you. Okay. How many of these people are going to be at the FIFA World Cups? None of them. But they know y'all so stupid that they can just tell you anything is about safety and national security, and y'all buy for it. Let me see. Oh, where am I? OpenAI, Alphabet's Google, Anthropic, and XAI last year won contracts that were worth up to $200 million each and aimed at scaling up adaptation of advanced AI capabilities in the Pentagon. Why is this important? Guess who else is getting contracts in the Pentagon for drone productions? Guess who else is making parts for drones in their own business? None other than 45's, 47's children. Now, Eric and Don Jr. are in the drone business. So, let's see a little video of how they're trying to sell this drone technology and try to tell you why it is important. You really need this technology. Let's watch a little video of the shit. They're saying that it costs too much to train pilots to do these things. They're telling you that they want to train machines in place of training people in the military. Because why? They're telling you that airplanes are much too much. They cost too much. Aircraft are too expensive. Let's get into this.
Navy estimate envisions a future force composition of 60% drones and 40% crewed aircraft in as little as 10 years. Autonomous drones do not get tired. We've got a problem. Integrated air defenses are becoming more lethal. Aircraft are becoming more expensive. Pilots are taking longer to train, and there's a shortage of them. How do we fix this? The answer may just be in autonomous drones using AI. Let's take a look. As integrated air defenses become more effective and lethal, today's fighters and bombers are in turn becoming more complicated, more expensive, and as a result, less numerous. In order to keep the number of aircraft in inventory necessary to maintain security today and tomorrow, the U.S. Armed Forces must begin integrating AI-powered drones in greater numbers. One Navy estimate envisions a future force composition of 60% drones and 40% crewed aircraft in as little as 10 years. Autonomous drones do not get tired, retire, or leave for civilian jobs. Theoretically, AI drones cannot be jammed as the onboard computers contain the AI programming, and they are very replaceable if lost in combat. We've already seen the trailblazing MQ-25 Stingray, an autonomous aerial refueling drone that can provide 16,000 gallons of fuel to aircraft while itself flying with a 500 nautical mile range. Once fully operational in the fleet, the MQ-25 Stingray will relieve overworked aircrews and airframes from having to perform aerial refueling. And while drones in support roles are immensely...
Where are these overworked air crews at? Where exactly are these overworked air crews at? They're telling you that they are having a hard time procuring pilots. They're telling you that they're not in the United States. They are not producing people who come out of United States school systems and are able to join the military and have the capabilities to fly aircraft carriers. When we have been uh, flying planes in the military since we've had a military. But all of a sudden, we need drones. Billionaires have decided that the people of the United States are not capable of doing things that people are supposed to do. And maybe one of the reasons that people are not capable of doing the things that people are supposed to do in the United States is because the United States has made sure they have dummied down their population. And the final cut to dumbing down the your education is your president getting on television and telling you that they are allowing over 600,000 Chinese students into our best universities because our own United States schools are not producing students who would be able to go to these universities. But that made no one think. That makes no one think. Uh, the fact that your president sat on TV and said that they needed the workers from South Korea to come in and build the plant in Georgia because there were no qualified workers in the United States. You know, these people in the United States who have first access to these colleges that are teaching all of this stuff that the Chinese students will be learning now. You know, the United States citizens, these citizens that they care so much about that they want to get rid of all other undocumented people because they care so much about your citizenry that they're not educating you enough to even be engineers at a Hyundai plant. But you don't even notice. You don't even notice that they will bring someone else in that they can manipulate and that they can use up and they can bring them in and work at a cheaper price. The thing that the United States does the most, exploit their workers. So they don't want to educate you because you're in the United States citizens and you know the going rates of things. So they would rather bring in an immigrant from a struggling country and pay them less and not have to educate the American citizen. But y'all okay with that? Y'all don't see anything wrong with that. It's interesting. Let's continue.
helpful, combat drones will likely be the game changer moving forward. Aircraft such as the F-15EX Eagle II, Block 3 Super Hornet, F-22 Raptor, F-35 Lightning, and now B-21 Raider are primed to take advantage of semi-autonomous wingmen. Let's take a closer look. We can think of drones as being made up of three key components: software, engines, and of course the airframe. In a drone, the software or AI agent acts as the aircraft's pilot. This AI agent makes use of various algorithms and command parameters to fly the aircraft, perform the mission, and take either offensive or defensive actions as needed. Depending on the drone type and mission parameters, the AI agent will have various levels of autonomy. A drone performing reconnaissance missions will likely have more autonomy than one that is going to deploy weapons, for example. This also means that the same drone platform can make use of different AI agents, possibly even from different manufacturers. Interestingly, It is conceivable that a drone could be launched from a carrier by the Navy, perform its mission, and then be handed off to the Air Force to land at a USAF maintenance facility, making these aircraft both multi-role and multi-service in the same mission. However, in order to integrate with crewed aircraft, trust must be established between the human and AI combatants. As a result, extensive training will be needed. More on that later.
Hey, have a commercial. Hold on, here we go.
The next key component of a drone is its engine. While an aircraft engine is typically the most complicated part of an aircraft to manufacture and maintain, recent advancements in engine technology have driven costs down dramatically. Relatively cheap turbofan engines are now a reality and can be used to create attritable and even expendable drones. At the same time, larger, more advanced drones can make use of the latest in propulsion technology, specifically adaptive engines which can operate in both high performance and high efficiency modes. The adaptive engines do this by automatically switching modes for the most optimal performance given the situation. General Electric's XA100, which is currently being tested on the F-35, is one such example, and is the world's first ever flight-weight 3-stream adaptive cycle engine. The XA100 program set out to increase thrust by 10% and fuel efficiency by 25% over conventional designs. However, in recent testing, the engine did even better than that. Thrust outputs have shown as much as a 20% increase, while range has been improved by 30%. Additionally, the increased thermal performance allows the engine to generate more electrical power, which is a game changer for drones.
So they can buy more drones. So the Pentagon, whose budget increases every year, uh, by the billions every year. The Pentagon, who has not had a audit that they have been able to pass in the past 8 audits that they've had at the Pentagon, who cannot tell you where 2/3 of their money has gone, cannot tell you precisely where this money was spent. So, do you think that the Pentagon budget is going to shrink since they don't have to build all of these aircraft carriers to carry human beings? No, that money is going to these billionaires who are in this little contest for the Pentagon's contracts. They won't have to worry about anything like consciousness of the pilots who may reconsider the mission that they are put upon, because the all of the decision making is going to be in the AI and in the drone itself. They will. Where is it? There was a chart. Let me see if it's in here. There was a chart that kind of showed you, it's not here, kind of showed you how a regular drone works, how
We've got a problem.
how
We've got a problem. Integrated air defenses are becoming more lethal. Aircraft are
regular
becoming more
drones work,
expensive.
how assisted drones work, and how these autonomous drones work. Regular drones are 100% controlled and operated by a human being on the ground. Semi-autonomous drones, they do have some input by a human being. You know, like the one that they says that takes voice uh the voice, you tell it what you want it to do, voice commands, and then it goes out and do it. Then they have these autonomous drones that can change their mind, their path, whatever they need to do to get the ultimate mission done. They are in full control of how they complete the mission. Okay, so these are the things that your military is working on. um, mm, I They are also making it possible that these drones will be able to work in any position, in the air, in the sea, to fly, to possibly leave on a mission from the Marine Corps, let's say, and then dock somewhere a Air Force docked somewhere in the Navy. These they want these to drones to be capable of being accepted in any part of our military. So they will be used by all departments of our military. So I personally don't think that this is a good thing. I don't think this is a good thing because I am aware of how the United States used these drones in Palestine to hunt down and find Palestinians based upon Alex Karp and Peter Thiel's uh, um, Palantir. The thing that had Peter Karp so excited that, hey, and we may have to just kill some people. That thing, those drones that had Palantir so excited. Palantir, who is a big part of the United States military at this time. How did Palantir get a lot of their information? A lot of the information that they had, Palantir didn't have the capabilities that they have that created the technology that ICE is now using, for example. See, Palantir didn't have the capabilities of getting that information. Who had the capabilities of getting that information? Doge. Doge had the capabilities of getting that information. In particular, I remember giving you the story how Doge wanted information, and they were trying to say that they were trying to make sure that people paid their child support. They couldn't get the information that they wanted through the Treasury. Now, it would make sense that the Treasury is trying to do taxes and payments for your children. So they were unable to get the information that they wanted from the Treasury. So who did they go to? They went to they went to the CDC. They went to Robert F. Kennedy's department, the Department of Health and Human Services is where they were able to access all of the information that they wanted from the United States citizens. So if you think that Elon Musk, didn't have a hand in Palantir getting all the information that they need to track you down any which way they want to. That is how they got the information. Robert F. Kennedy, but hey, he said a worm is eating half his brain, so we can't hold him to his decision making, I guess. So now, let me share the Don Jr. Part with you. And Don Jr. and Eric Trump have gone on television and basically said, hey, you know, um, you guys, these last administrations who debanked us are the reasons why we are back and we are stealing and we are using the United States to get rich from. Is it? So, if you do something in your banking and they close your account down, does that then allow you to come and start creating fraud, start stealing from the country? Does that work for you? Is that how it worked for you? If you are on the what is it called, check systems, if you are out here writing bad checks and they put you on check systems and you can't open another checking account, does that allow you to start defrauding the American government? Well, the Trump brothers think that their the way that they were working in business and the repercussions that it caused. They took us off of all social media platforms. They debanked us, and we have no choice to do what we have to do. Yes, we're out here making money hand over fist, getting these government contracts because of who we are, because you guys did something so bad to us based upon how we were running our business the first time. You know, the stuff that anybody who ran a business like we were running it the first time that we were in office would have faced the same penalties. But they wouldn't have been able to get any get back because they're not the president's children, and they cannot get government contracts. Let me share what I want to share with you about the Trump brothers. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Okay, here we go. Let me share this with you. Just in case you are unaware of this, let's talk about it. I'm sure no one would hit the link because I'm not talking about dumb bullshit. Shocking ties how Trump Jr.'s drone investment could cash in on massive U.S. military boost. Here we go. Imagine your hobby a drone part suddenly backed by billions. Thanks to Trump family ties, Donald Trump Jr. has boarded unusual machines, eyeing gains from his dad's 1.4 billion drone push. Uh, but is it fair play? No, it's not fair play. It's not fair play at all. Let's see. Let's go on. Donald Trump Jr. has joined the advisory board of Unusual Machines, a Florida based drone company, positioning himself to potentially benefit from his father's administration hefty investment in domestic drone production. The development comes as the U.S. government allocates $1.4 billion for small drone expansions under the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, sparking concerns over conflicts of interest in the growing drone sector. Unusual Machine focuses on US made drone components. Usually, Unusual Machines operates through two main divisions: Fat Shark, which produce goggles, controllers, and other drone components to accessories, and Rotor Riot, a e-commerce platform for drone parts. The company plans to acquire Rotor Lab, a Australian drone motor manufacturer, as part of its strategy to relocate small drone supply chains to American soil. This onshore effort includes establishing 17,000 square foot of or about 1,579 square meter facility in Orlando, Florida, where unusual machines will produce its own drone motors starting in September. That was September of 2025. By moving manufacturing domestically, the company aims to sidestep heavy tariffs on Chinese drone technology and align with new national security regulation and Pentagon procurement policies. These moves target first-person view drones, small systems already used in use for military exercises, which could expand applications in both commercial and defense realms. Securities filings reveal that Trump Jr. owns 331,580 shares of Unusual Machine, which only two top executive holding more, according with only two top executive holding more. So he is in the top three of owning shares in this company. Following his appointment to the advisory board last November, the company's stock doubled at about $10 per share, highlighting immediate financial gains. Government policies fueling domestic drone growth. President 4547 military procurement policies and the recently passed One Big Beautiful Bill Act provides substantial support for small unmanned aerial system. This act earmarks $1.4 billion specifically for expanding the small unmanned aerial system industrial base, which aligns directly with unusual machines investment in domestic production. Now, you think that this is a coincidence that Don Jr. Has bought shares in some uh, obscure drone company, and now your Pentagon is investing in this drone company? Do you think that it's peculiar that he plans to grow this drone company by uh, accessing uh, a company that really creates drones, not just drone parts, drone engines. He's going to bring that over, and they purchase it from Australia, and they're gonna, not an inventor, not a creator, but someone who is just procuring other companies to bring to the United States to get Pentagon contracts that will make him and his family rich. Okay. Congress is now drafting a 2026 National Defense Authorization Act expected to prioritize funding for U.S. based production of small drone components, including at private facilities. A July 10th memo from the Defense Secretary Kegbreath outlines the Pentagon's plan to invest heavily in American made drones and components. This policy shift addresses national security concerns by reducing reliance on foreign suppliers, particularly from China. So, are you scared yet? So, are you scared enough by those words, China and national security, that you're okay with enriching the president's family, who spend a couple of $1,000 in these obscure companies, and now they're gonna stand to make billions of dollars? Are you okay with that? We'll get okay with that because that's what's being done in your American government. People are able to figure out how to do that, but they're unable how to figure out how to bring prices down on American citizens. They are unable to figure out how to give the American citizens universal health care. They can't figure any of these things out because Elon Musk needs to be a trillionaire. We need to protect billionaires with tax cuts. So when we cut the taxes on billionaires, they're not paying taxes on the billions. They have all of this protections. They're not even expected to pay taxes on these billions. But we want to pretend like we have no tax on Social Security. We want to pretend like we put no tax on tips in this big, beautiful bill when it's absolutely not that. Uh, wouldn't it be nice if they had done the no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security? They had done the no tax on billionaires the same way. The no tax on tips is only for 2 years, and you can only claim $25,000 worth of tips that you're not being taxed on. You're being taxed on the rest of it. The no tax on Social Security, they give you some things that you can extra things that you can declare when you file your taxes for Social Security. So it's absolutely not the same thing. But what it is for the billionaires is we're not getting the money in the coffers of the United States Treasury that if we were taxing these billionaires that would afford us to do things for the least of us in the United States. Since the United States is not paying wages, since the United States let a billionaire go into our government and cut jobs, put people uh, off of the payroll. We could pay for these things. We could pay for the social safety net for our country, but we don't know. They have convinced you that it's the fault of immigrants. They have convinced you that it's the fault of any other marginalized group, until the point that you white people, you have also become a marginalized group, because it is not about your color, it is not about your sexual orientation, it is not about your immigration status, it is about wealth, and us. It is about the cavern that has been created between the wealthy and the poor. The middle class has been wiped out. This is a class war. This is the only thing that this is about. This is about money. And do you think, do you actually think that when they get all of this AI up and working and they have no solution for all of the people that are without jobs, do you think that it's going to be their fault for giving the all your jobs to AI? Do you think they gonna want to see you sitting around bitching and complaining and turning the United States into a more of a trailer park trash situation because you're gonna have nothing? You think that they're gonna let you destroy this beautiful America? Why do you think they're building all these concentration camps? Who you think gonna fill these concentration camps up? You think that they just gonna let you turn America into a shithole country? America the beautiful? America the beautiful has to be beautiful for someone. Do you think that it is going to be beautiful for all these people that they have unemployed? Have you heard them? We hear here and there that they're going to have to create some type of money that they're going to pay the people that they put out of job. Have you heard that from any government official? Have you heard that from any government official? You hear it poised when people are talking about the simple fact that they are planning to get rid of all our jobs, but you don't ever hear a solution of what they're going to do when they get rid of all the jobs. You never hear a solution because the solution is being talked about in dark rooms. It's not being spoken about out loud. But there are plenty of people procuring these warehouses all across the United States, in damn near every state in the United States. They are buying up these warehouses, and y'all don't think it's for you. Y'all think it's for other people. Y'all think it's for someone else. Okay. This link is in my description box under AI drones as well. That last thing that I played for you was in the description box under AI drones. Let me move forward. Let's uh let's see how the Trump duo is actually saying that it's your fault. You guys pushed us to this limit. This is why we are doing what we're doing. If you don't believe that they think that the United States owes them this because of how they did business and the ramifications of how they did business time, their father was in office. I'll let you hear it from themselves. Let me uh, Let me uh, find. Let me find Beavis and Butthead telling you it's your fault. You owe us. Hold on one second. Here we go. Here we go. Let me share this with you. Let me get past the commercial. Hold on one second. Oh my goodness. My computer is freezing up. I hate when this happens. Oh God. Okay, here we go. I apologize for that. Let's get into. Let me share my page with you. This will also be under AI drones. All of the links that I share with you in my description box. Please go and check out uh, this channel, Pondering Politics. It is a great. Let me share this with you. Here we go.
Go ahead and pull up a chair, because what I'm about to show you is profoundly shocking, shameless, and disturbing on so many levels. Earlier this morning, in a CNBC interview, Donald Trump's two sons, Don Jr. and Eric, were confronted by the host about their family's vast, unprecedented corruption and conflicts of interest, namely the comprehensive effort by them and their father to cash in on the Trump presidency, which according to some estimates range from $1.5 billion to $5 billion in 1 year alone. Their responses to these questions were jaw-droppingly shameless. They're not even bothering to hide it or deny it. They're laughing and bragging about it. And the ways that they're cashing in on the Trump presidency involve not just crypto, but now a new deal involving Eric Trump's drone company with the U.S. military, led, of course, by his father. There's just so much to unpack here. But before we do, if you end up liking this video and you want to support the channel, please be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and alert bells before you go. All right, folks, we've got a lot to show you, so let's jump right on in.
Now, let's be clear. This drone company that he's about to talk about with Eric Trump is not the drone company I just talked to you about. That was Don Jr.'s drone company, of the Florida drone company that they basically bought up the intellectual property from a company from Australia and are creating the drones here. That was for Don Jr., the one I just told you. Let's get back into this story. The link is in my.
Well, you know what the critics would say. They'd say that the credibility factor is the Trump name and the Trump White House, and that everyone, you know, is here to curry favor.
I think again, the great honor here is they didn't give us much of a choice. When you had they created this monster. When you had every big bank in the world
They didn't give us much of a choice. They created this monster. When you had every bank in the world, what? Debanking us. They didn't give us a choice. When the banks did what the banks would have done to any business that was running business the way we were. But who is they? Who are these they who didn't give them any other choice? Because they faced the repercussions of how they were mismanaging their businesses.
For
Everyone, is here to curry favor.
I think again, the great honor here is they didn't give us much of a choice. When you had every they created this monster. When you had every big bank in the world for.
They left us no choice. They created this monster. What they should have said was, oh, Sarah Eisen is the CNBC host. Sarah, I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, no. Here's why we have so much credibility in this industry. This has nothing to do with our father. Here are the firewalls. Here are the layers of protection, the layers of ethical guidance that we go to totally separate ourselves from our father. This has nothing to do. Here's where our father has taken actions in the White House, which has actually been to our detriment. Here's why this is not a conflict of interest. Here's why this is not corrupt. Instead, what they say is, we had no choice. They gave us no choice. They created this monster. It's actually people who criticized Donald Trump who made us cash in on the Trump presidency. Now, you might think, okay, that was a really terrible answer. Surely it doesn't get worse. It does. Two more clips I want to show you.
I want to ask you about, the World Liberty Corporation, which has been in the news, and there was this big Wall Street Journal report about the 49% stake that was sold to an Emirati royal family member after your father was elected president, raising questions about whether they were doing that so they could get access to AI chips.
A, my father has nothing to do with. B, it has nothing to do with AI chips. And C, we met in the Middle East the first time.
Yes.
There's not a person in that room. There's not a banker. There's not a fund manager that doesn't go to the Middle East and to the, whether the sovereign wealth funds of the world. They're some of the biggest investors in every fund in America.
So, let's be clear. They call the guy who bought all of these crypto from invested all of this money into world liberty. The Donald Trump wing of that washes crypto, where you can buy crypto. They call, I think, I could be wrong. He invested all of this money in crypto, and now all of a sudden, how they were worried about China getting our intel from our chips and all of this, and Biden had it where we were creating chips in the U.S. And did you wonder why 4547 stopped the Biden manufacturing of chips, which gave thousands of jobs to American people, and Trump closed down this chip act, and now he is going to be selling chips to the same person in the UAE who invested in his company. And it is expected that surely these chips that they were trying so hard to make sure that Chinese couldn't get their hands on, now since they are being sold to this man who invested in 4547 crypto company, the Chinese will be able to get their hands on this chip technology. So it's not about any of this. It's not about all of the jobs that were wiped out that to create chips in the United States. You know, it is just really something about the ignorance of people, the ignorance of people who are up in age, who should know better. It is something about the ignorance of people who think that AI is created to help them do their jobs more effectively. Their actual jobs. when they don't realize that AI is going to be taking their jobs. They think that AI is a plus to help them do their jobs. Do you think who you think why would somebody need to pay a human being to write up proposals and all of these types of things when AI is using your stupid ass who is using AI right now to pick your brain, your processes, and to have them available for anyone who wants to purchase these AI models? Hmm? Why do you think that people participate in their own demise? It's amazing. It is absolutely amazing. It amazes me. Okay.
To critique the one here and not talk about the others would be nonsense. It's literally what they do. And so they have done that. They invested in it and they.
So I'm going to stop right there. Remember, this is one of the biggest corruption bombshells of the Trump administration. We've done multiple videos about this. The conservative Wall Street Journal reported on this particular bombshell. Donald Trump and the Trump family have a crypto venture called World Liberty Financial. And this, United Arab Emirates Sheikh, the spy sheikh, right, is what he is referred to, invests $500 million into the World Liberty.
The spy sheikh. I was going to say that, but I didn't want to say that if I was wrong. Yes, they call him the spy sheikh, the spy sheik. I was wondering if I got my stories mixed up with the Jeffrey Epstein sheik and this guy. So the spy sheik. So do you think that our stuff is going to wind up in China? Is that's what he's known to be?
Financial Trump crypto venture. And then after Trump becomes president, they get access to advanced AI chips that the Biden administration prevented them from having. So it was very obviously a corrupt quid pro quo. We're going to give you $500 million, and in exchange, you give us the AI chips that we had been denied so long. And now he's trying to sweep it under the rug. Well, everybody does. Everybody meets here. Everybody talks about it. Why can't we? Well, not everybody are the sons of the sitting president of the United States. And not everybody has businesses that the president of the United States directly financially benefits from in his private capacity. That's the fucking difference.
Actually had already over 4x return on their investment. It's a great investment and has nothing to do with the other. We've been dealing with the conflict of interest stuff for years. I mean, they tried all this nonsense the first time around. Frankly, it's gotten old. They were the ones that put us into this position by.
They were the ones who put us in this position. Who is this they? My mom always taught me, don't come to telling me what they said. Who is they? So they've always put us in this position talking about conflict of interest because you've always been working in conflict of interest. You've always worked from the position of having conflicts of interest because like most rich children who don't want to get off of their ass and forge their own path, you just want to sit up and suck up and fucking take advantage of people you can take advantage of due to your closeness to power, your father's power. You know, all of that stuff, all this Hunter Biden, because he sold a painting for a couple of $100,000. And it was all Hunter Biden is taking advantage of the presidency. And you guys are getting billions. At least Hunter Biden actually painted the paintings. You guys are getting billions from people in Saudi Arabia and the Arab Emirates to get your ventures off the ground. That is who's paying for your ventures. You couldn't do any of this without Arab money.
Creating legislation to try to put us out of business for years. I mean, they tried all this nonsense the first time around. Frankly, it's gotten old. They were the ones that put us into this position by creating legislation to try to put us out of business.
So again, He's not denying it. Listen, we're cashing in on the presidency, but you know what's actually your fault. It's actually everybody else's fault. You've put us in a position that we had to enrich ourselves off the presidency. That's what I mean when I say the responses to this are just totally shameless. And in fact, he goes on to say that, quote, we're just fighting back.
We just fought back. We weren't willing to sit in the corner, curl up in a ball and die like they would love us to do.
Watch this. This is how pickpockets in the United States are stealing wallets right now. 2 seconds.
You guys left us no choice. By disagreeing with us, by refusing to do business with us, you forced us, these really rich Nepo babies, and you forced our really rich father to seek, extraordinarily unprecedented means to cash in on the Trump presidency. You made us be corrupt, damn it. It's your fault.
So now we talk crypto. I just, in the final moments, want to ask about some of the other interesting business ventures, because there was big news yesterday about your investment in an Israeli drone company, for instance. What was this? What's the story there? And again,
now let's get to Eric Trump's drone company.
You'll have the same questions about, they're dependent on the Pentagon for sales and regulation.
Listen, I think at the end of the day, we invest in a lot of things that we believe in, right? If anybody doesn't believe that drones is, the wave of the future, they're silly, their eyes aren't open. And so I think there's tremendous drone technology. And, listen, we've been investors our entire lives. We put money into ventures.
So let's talk about the drone thing for just a second here, because, again, this is pretty fucking shameless. So what are we talking about? Eric Trump backs drone company adding to family's defense ties. Okay? So let's look at Bloomberg here. Eric Trump is investing a $1.5 billion deal where the drone maker Extend will go public by combining with JFB Constructing Holdings. The deal brings the Trump family closer to defense manufacturing, a priority for the administration, and gives them a financial interest in a company that may benefit from the Department of Defense's plans. Extend is preparing to vie for a new government support, including competing in the Defense Department's $1.1 billion drone dominance program. Eric Trump is backing a drone company, adding to his family's defense portfolio at a moment when his father's administration is bolstering the industry. So, I want to see if there was anything else here. Okay.
So that's Eric Trump. I just read the article about Donald Jr.'s foray into the drone world. Both of them with different companies are possibly going to be getting the billions of unaccounted for money that the Pentagon pisses off. Your tax dollars. That your tax dollars that is going to the Pentagon, that increases every year as more and more United States people, citizens are looking to lose their health care. But, you won't see the full effects of all of these healthcare loss until after the midterm elections, because that's how they have it set up. You think that, that was all a fear tactic. Nothing really happened. Wait until after the midterm election, when the rubber meets the road, when this is all scheduled to go down, because they have hopes that you will keep them in office. They have hopes that you're so stupid that when they come out and tell you everything's fine, beyond you seeing that everything is really fucked up in the United States, you're going to continue to vote against your own interests, like many of you have already done. Anytime they tell you that they are going to have the biggest mass deportation in the history of this country, and Hispanic people overwhelmingly voted for them, why wouldn't they think the American people are stupid?
Meanwhile, Don Jr. has also positioned himself to earn money from any boost to the defense sector. In 2024, he reported holding shares of unusual machines that would be worth $4 million at current prices. 1789 Capital, a venture capital firm where he's a partner, backed an array of companies working in defense-related industries, including Anduril Industries, Vulcan Elements, and Hadrian. And let's see here. It's one of 25 companies, a group of 25 companies participating in the initial phase of the program, including Extend, will bring prototypes to the Fort Benning, Georgia military base for trial runs. As many as 12 contenders will be chosen to manufacture more drones based on their performance. And Eric's drone companies have already had defense contracts. He is directly directly benefiting from the United States military, which is led by his father. Donald Trump leads the U.S. military, ultimately leads the Department of Defense, and his children are in business with the Department of Defense. Yeah, pretty freaking corrupt. So let's look at some of the responses to this, because again, even by Trump standards, this is shameless. Republicans against Trump posted the Trump family isn't even trying to hide the corruption anymore, and indeed they're not. The Trumps are tired of people asking about them looting the country and making billions off the presidency, so please stop. Aidan McLaughlin of Mediaite says Don Jr.'s defense that, quote, the conflict of interest stuff has, quote, gotten old would make more sense if he hadn't spent 4 years assailing, quote, the Biden crime family because Hunter traded off his father's name and made a tiny fraction of the value of World Liberty Financial. The Trump family is infinitely more corrupt than the Biden family, by the way. It's everywhere. It's staggering. The Trump sons didn't even bother to deny the foreign government started giving them billions of dollars as soon as their dad was elected. They're trying to make this sound normal, but it is not normal. It's corruption on an unprecedented scale. Now China gets our chip technology. They forced us to take our money, says Lucas Holtz. It's truly stunning. And again, there are great, reports about this in the New Yorker, for example. Trump's profiting hits $4 billion. In August, I reported that the president and his family made $3.4 billion by leveraging his position after his first year back in office, because this was written after January 20th, 2026, which is the year anniversary of Trump's presidency. The number has ballooned. So the New Yorker estimates $4 billion. If you look at for AmericanProgress.org, they have a Trump's take, $2 billion cash and gifts received by Trump over the past 470 days. Trump's Take is a real-time financial tracker documenting the cash and gifts that Donald Trump and his family have received by selling the presidency. For our purposes, the family includes Trump, Melania Trump, Don Jr., and Eric Trump, hereafter referred to collectively as the Trump family. Trump has made most of the cash by launching his own crypto ventures, reversing his outspoken skeptical stance on crypto, while aggressively deregulating the industry. Trump takes a...
And if we add Jared and Ivanka, that is substantially more, because Jared got $2 billion himself alone after the first Trump presidency. $2 billion for a company he never worked in, and all of his college friends and buddies had never worked in. That he got that from Saudi Arabia. And even the finance minister at Saudi Arabia did not believe that it was a good company to put $2 billion of their wealth into. But they were overwritten by the Saudi prince. Let's not forget about those $2 billion. Let's not forget about the billions of dollars that they are set to make in this turning Palestine into some what is it, a techno city for billionaires and tech billionaires. Let's not forget about the billions that they are already have all of their plans and documents and blueprints to turn Palestine into something that is not for the Palestinian people at all.
Cut in cash from the trades and sales of the family's coins and tokens, along with stable coin interest. The take is the cash he has received calculated in real time based on actual trading activity and stable coin interest. It can only go up. We've also added the value of the gifts, legal settlements, and the income from Melania Trump's documentary paid directly to Trump or his presidential library. Due to the complex nature of these earnings.
And should we add to that the $10 billion of your tax dollars that 4547 says that he has actually technically already won, even though there has been no no court, no depositions, no anything. He said that he was going to sue the Treasury for $10 billion because someone leaked his tax information. They leaked the fact that he paid $750 one year as he purported to be a billionaire, and many other years he paid absolutely nothing as he was purporting to be a billionaire. The person who leaked that is serving 5 years in jail, may still be in jail, but he says you, the taxpayer, owe him $10 billion. And actually, I've already won that case. I'm going to give all the money to charity. I'm just going to give them. Well, we got to add those $10 billion to it. Why don't we? Why don't we add that to it? Are we going to do that? Is that something you guys are willing to add to the profiteering off of the presidency, coming straight up out of the Treasury? Your tax dollars, because it was revealed that he paid $750 in tax of his dollars. But I saw a fool write in my chat that all of this is legal. Let's continue.
Which are channeled through multiple financial vehicles, our calculations are constantly being updated and refined. A comprehensive methodology detailing the determination of the Trump's family crypto income is available here. We have excluded from income assets that Trump had before his November 2024 election victory, including real estate, hotels, licensing deals, and more, even though their value has inarguably increased as a result of his election. We made one notable exception by including income from his first crypto venture, World Liberty Financial. WLFI launched in September 2024, and nearly all of the income from this venture was made after his election in November of the same year. So again, it's worth pointing out. I mean, folks, all I'm just going to say is this. It just fucking matters at a time when the vast majority of you watching and the vast majority of the people that you know, right, are saying that this economy is the worst it's ever been and that the wealth gap is getting even worse and people are suffering and languishing under Trump's economic misrule, the tariffs that he's imposed, which are increasing.
Okay, that link is in my description. Did I put it in? Yeah, I put this link in my description box. Speaking of the economy, um, that link that I just shared with you, it is in my description box under AI drones. That is where it will be found. You can peruse it at your leisure. Please go over there and check out this channel. He does great content. And let's get into the actual economy that we're living under, why everybody want to pretend like it's okay to give the president's family members billion-dollar contracts. Let's get into your economy. Uh, let me share. Let me share a couple of things that you may want to know about the United States economy. Let's get to it.
Guys, stop what you're doing. I thought Timeless Flex.
And Trump has his people out attacking the Fed. I want to give you guys the latest, and this is what's going on today. From the Trump people, it says, Trump advisor says New York Fed economists should be, quote, disciplined, for publishing study on tariffs. So if you put out numbers they don't like, they want to punish you, basically. That's from Financial Times. Bloomberg has it at Hassett attacks New York Fed for study on tariff burden hitting the U.S. So let's go over what they're saying, and we'll go over some numbers with you. So first, this is Hassett.
What we've been doing is by congressional district. We've been.
Now listen to this shit. Listen to. I want you to really hear him with these hard swallows. Try to fool you that the economy is doing something great. When he's basically telling you we're switching numbers from here and there and here and there, and it looks better when you look at it this way.
looking at how much more money people have to spend because they're buying the normal bundle of goods that they need to survive, and how much money people have gained in the last year because incomes have gone up because of all of our great policies, which are causing a business boom. And
There's no business boom in the United States. The thing that he's trying to argue against is the fact that the United States have created, I think, a total of 18,000 jobs last year alone. There has been no business boom. He is also going to try to say something like, "Well, you." So he's saying that even though the prices have gone up, it's been such a business boom, and people are getting paid so much more money that hey, you're winning. Or where are people winning? Getting paid so much more money? The pay in the United States has been stagnant for decades, but he wants to get on with this shit-eating green so much more money because they are in such a boom that they are not. Of course, they're just gonna give it out to their employees instead of buying back their own stocks like they have been doing for the last 20, 30 years, buying stock buybacks in their own companies. So we are to believe that times are good, that these companies are just, oh, let's share the wealth. These same companies that make sure that you don't work 30 hours a week because they will have to add you to some type of insurance plan, or they will have to uh, uh, pay you benefits. So we are to believe that these companies, things are this good. Give me a fucking break. These people make sure that they tighten down your hours to make it impossible for them to have to offer you health insurance, to be able to actually have the applications to food stamps in their personnel offices, to give you the application to go and get some food stamps because they know goddamn well they ain't gonna pay you enough to come to work and buy food. Walmart give their employees the applications to food stamps. They're allegedly they're all in their break rooms. The applications for food stamps. So we're to believe this bullshit. We are to believe this bullshit.
almost without exception, when you go look at it, incomes are up way more than the cost of living. And that's the real wage gain that this silly Fed study.
Incomes are up way more than the cost of living. Now, we know that that is a bullshit lie. We know that there is no place in the United States that you can even rent an apartment in the whole entirety of the United States. There's no place that you can rent an apartment if you're making the federal minimum wage. We also know that there is a new story out about the new houses that first time buyers in the United States are 1 out of 5 of the home sales in the United States today. The remainder of the homes that are being sold in the United States are being sold to hedge fund company and corporations, hedge fund corporations, and other corporations. 1 in 5 is a actual first time home buyer. Let that sink in. Businesses are buying up homes, but this motherfucker wants you to believe that everybody, you're making so much over what it costs to live in the United States. Really? Really? Now, let's continue.
Neglects to mention. And so incomes are up way more than the cost of living. And that's the real wage gain that this silly Fed study neglects to mention. And so,
Of course, they neglect to mention that because it's a lie. Why would they mention that? With your hard swallow. Because you can't even choke that lie down yourself. Oh, God. These people are disgusting.
the bottom line is that Trump policies are meant to onshore production and create jobs. And those jobs that we're creating are not for, Jeff Bezos. They're for the people who didn't have a job before. And so they're by definition.
So they are creating all of these jobs, and they're not for the billionaires like Jeff Bezos. Where are these jobs? Where are these created jobs? Now, this is the same person who told you that you would see these jobs earlier in the year, in the summertime. He said you will start seeing these jobs, that these tariffs are bringing back manufacturing to the country later in the probably in the last term of last year. And then in the last term of last year, he told you will probably start seeing these jobs that they are building. They are breaking ground on all of these manufacturing jobs. You will probably see it early in the first quarter of this year, 2026. And now that it's the first quarter of 2026, he said that you would see them sometimes throughout the year of 2026 and probably 2027. You notice how the manufacturing jobs, all of these jobs that they created, he cannot tell you any jobs that they have created, but he just says all of these manufacturing jobs, all of these jobs, all of these jobs. What does the United States manufacture? It's besides bullshit and lies. What is being manufactured in the United States? Ignorance, dummies. That's the biggest thing that's being manufactured in the United States. Hopes and fucking failed dreams. A belief in people who blow smoke up your ass. Hatred towards other people and other marginalized communities to make you feel like you're superior to them. The belief that what's happening to the least of you is not going to happen to you as well. That's the things that's being manufactured in the United States of America. Not no motherfucking jobs. Now you think about it. So he said that all of these things are created for not Jeff Bezos, but for you. And then he turns around and tells you that, well, you have to look at it that rich people buy more things than the average working class person. Who are these working class people? So what he's saying is the rich people, by the fact that they are richer, consume more. Okay, so the 1% consumes more than the 99%. So let's try to make that any of that make sense. The 1% of people, let's say they go to the store and they buy some toilet paper, and so you mean to tell me that one person is going to buy more toilet paper than 99 people, the number of rolls that 99 people have to buy. It doesn't even make sense when you're talking about shit paper. It doesn't make sense because they do not consume more. The things that they consume could be more expensive, but they are not consuming more. And and unfortunately, too many people in the United States can't afford to even buy shit paper. It's getting that bad in the United States. Let's continue.
Definition the people at the bottom, and our policies are working. They're very clearly working in the data.
So according to Hassett, you all have a job, you're all rich, and they are not helping Bezos, they're helping you people at the bottom. So you should celebrate, right? And the silly Fed study, don't pay no attention to them, you're all rich. Okay, that's from Hassett. This was actually out of Bloomberg today. It says unprecedented jobless boom.
With the world in chaos, what's really needed is someone to finally make sense of humans seemingly mad.
Jobless boom. Test limits of U.S. economic expansion. And what we're talking about this year is, yeah, you may see GDP numbers go up, but you won't see job numbers go up. Basically, the rich get richer, the poor get poorer. Talk about K-shaped economy. You can also talk about T-shaped economy where the rich stay rich and the poor just drop off. Let me show you the numbers here, what it says. The U.S. economy is creating plenty of wealth, so there's certainly money in the USA, right? It's just not creating many jobs, okay? And it was very interesting when Hassett's like, well, it's not really for Jeff Bezos. It's for all you people at the bottom. Don't you see? We have the numbers. Don't you see? Everything's going up. GDP is awesome. You're so rich. Forecasters expect Friday, so we're going to get a GDP report. Friday's report on gross domestic product to show the economy expanded 2.7% in 2025. A solid pace by any standard for a developed country. Here's the big but, though. But employment barely grew. And the combination is drawing comparisons to the infamous jobless recovery of the early 2000s that followed the tech bubble and collapse. And you can look at this chart here. It's interesting. You have the yellow line and the black line. You can see it for yourself. Yellow is the U.S. real GDP, right? So you can see that's ticking up a bit. So that would be right about there if I get my number on that. Yeah, 2.7. And then you have the non-farm payrolls 12-month change, and that's starting to decline. You can see right there. And that's sort of what we're talking about here is, yeah, sure, GDP numbers may go up, but not necessarily jobs. And then the other thing that's pumping up the GDP numbers is all this investment into AI and data centers and that kind of stuff, which is basically designed to replace jobs. So it's going to get really ugly out there. I'm just telling you the truth on this stuff.
AI and data centers that have probably 5 to 7 employees on these at these huge data centers. Just because these data centers are huge and massive, they have absolutely no employment. The biggest boom in employment in the data centers is actually the construction, and construction doesn't go on forever. What do they call it? Skeleton crews are at these data centers. These large, massive centers employ no one.
And then when they were talking about tariffs, you got to hear what it has to say about this.
A study by the New York Federal Reserve claims 90% of the tariff burden is being shouldered by U.S. firms and consumers, but the White House disagrees. Joining us now, White House National Economic Council Director Kevin Hassett. This will be Kevin, good to see you. This will be a continuation of a discussion we had yesterday with Ambassador, with our trade representative, Jameson Greer, and we talked about whether something's regressive, but we'll try to get into all of this. And
really the discussion is essentially when talking about tariffs is who pays the tariffs, one, and then basically what percentage of your income are tariffs. First, let me show you Greer, what he refers to, and we're talking about, like, is this a burden on you or not to pay the tariffs?
But the other piece to keep in mind, too, is it's not regressive. Most consumption in America is done by the wealthiest people. So the idea that it's somehow regressive is just wrong. And by the way...
Perfect. A tax on wealthy people. That ought to get,
Okay. It was a different guy who said this. So you are getting all of this money. All of this money is coming down to you when they try to pretend like there's jobs and there's abundance in America. But when it comes to who pays the tariffs, it's, well, you don't purchase as much as rich people purchase. So the tariffs are not really hurting you. It's really hurting the rich people because they spend more money on products. They are paying more tariffs. You are paying the exact same price in tariff costs that everyone else is paying. Your 10-20% that is added on to your products that you must buy that are made in China, you are paying that. And if you are a billionaire, you feel that less. But if you are a average worker, that 20% out of your check feels like it's way more. The billionaire can pay these taxes, these tariff costs, and not even notice that they have increased in price. But with everything that you buy on your medium wages or your stagnant wages, you feel the burn of this.
Unanimous.
But this clown is also a Trump in the Trump administration as well.
Approval in the Hakeem Jeffries house.
What one would think, but again, these tariffs aren't making their way down to consumers anyway.
So basically, he's lying. I'll just put it long story short. First is the study that they were talking about today is U.S. businesses and consumers pay 90% of the cost, talking about the tariff. So this is nothing shocking or anything like that. But this is really damaging to them because all the time they come out on TV and say, no, 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 it's China paying the tariffs, not you. But then, the Fed can figure out like, okay, what percentage is paying the tariffs? That's 90%. The whole regressive thing is basically the less income that you have. So the lower you are in the economic scale, when the tariffs hit, you're paying a higher portion of your salary to pay these fees. It's a larger expense for you. Simplest way to describe it is a $20 hamburger for you, or 20 or 30 or whatever it is, if it goes up in price, is a larger portion of your salary than say for Jeff Bezos. For them, or Elon Musk, whatever, for them, it's nothing to them, right? 20, 30 bucks is nothing. A $10 increase is nothing to them. But to someone who's really struggling, that adds up very, very quickly, right? That's what we're talking about here.
We saw an inflation number last week, 2.4%. If it is being shouldered by U.S. firms and consumers, U.S. firms are eating some of it, or consumers are it's being offset by something else, whether it's lower gas prices or something else, because just in the numbers themselves, that doesn't hold water.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, the paper is an embarrassment. It's, I think, the worst paper I've ever seen in the history of the Federal Reserve System. The people associated with this paper should presumably be disciplined, because what they've done is they've put out a conclusion which has created a lot of news that's highly partisan, based on analysis accepted in a first semester econ class. The bottom line is that if you're wondering like who bears the burden of something, of a tariff, then you remember, Joe, you got supply curves, demand curves, you shift them around, you got consumer surplus, you got producer surplus, and then you look and see how it all works out in the end. And they're basically only looking at changes in prices. So they're assuming that quantities don't.
Okay, but that's what we're looking at, is changes in prices, who pays the tariffs, and also where the money is going. So this is what it says. It says U.S. business and consumers pay 90% of the tariffs costs, right? And this is a chart here. Foreign companies are not eating U.S. tariffs. And you can see the percentages here, and it depends on which month you look at. So if they want to argue about, the exact numbers, they can. But long story short, U.S. importer, right? So if you're bringing in goods into the country, you're going to pay the tariffs on this stuff, and then likely you're going to pass it on to U.S. consumers. It's really not that complicated. I'm just putting it up there because when you go over the Trumpy and the Hassett stuff, they try to gaslight you and make it sound like that, oh, we got supply and demand curves this way, and you can move a bunch of numbers this way, that way, and they try to act like someone's cheating you in some way. But really, it's the Hassett people are the people who are cheating you. Like if they're not speaking to you clearly.
Don't move at all. But guess what? Quantities did move at all. So the basic theory of President Trump's tariffs is that we're importing stuff from China, but we got producers in the U.S. that make the same stuff, maybe at a slightly higher price. If we bring the stuff home, create the demand at home.
If we are already creating it at home for a higher price, and we're having to pay more for it because we're bringing a cheaper product in from China, and a tariff is put on it, so it's a higher price. So what the fuck are you saying? It's still a higher price to the American consumer, period. So if we bring the production home, you just said the production was already at home, but you had to pay a higher price for it at home. So do you think if you bring a huger production at home, it's going to lower the price that it's going to cost the consumer? When has that ever worked in American businesses? A bunch of bullshit. Okay, let's finish this game
then
now.
that will hurt China and drive up wages in the U.S., and American consumers will be better off. So what have we seen?
Oh, so if American companies get more business, it's going to drive up wages for the American workers. Since when? Since when? Since when have American CEOs and owner of corporations have not looked to get the most that they can for themselves and their shareholders? Since when did the American CEO care about shorting their workers? Just because you say bullshit with a smile, it's still bullshit. Hold on, let me. Thank you, Nappy Child. Thank you for being here. Let me be clear to some of you idiots out here. Um, all of the dumb shit that you choose to say in the chat, I am unaffected by it. I'm giving you the facts and the information. If you choose to think that I'm taking on something personally from these stories myself, you can think whatever you want to. If you think victim, the whole United States is victim to this administration and what is happening in the United States of America. So, all of you who are sitting in here pretending like you are unaffected by this economy, are good. I am happy for it. I am happy for it. I'm happy for you. I'm happy for the fact that you can think that you can pretend your way out of the facts of what's going on in the United States. I'm unaffected. I am unaffected by what you say, think, and if you are disrespectful in my chat, you will be blocked from my chat. Period. Point blank. Hello, Ken Jackson. It's good to see you. Hey, Footsteps, Nappy Child. I spoke. Thank you for your support. Hey, the real K Fit. Uh, hello to everyone who joined me. If you would click the like button or tap your screen twice, I would greatly appreciate it. Now, there is a little bit more I wanted to share about the actual economy of the United States. I just want to give you some information. Do with it as you please. Where is it? Hold on one second.
So, as you know, today, Donald Trump and his people were spending the day telling you how rich everyone is and how great the economy is. And now they're providing some solutions of what's going on. So, first, in order to make everyone rich, they want to rename airports after, you guessed it, Donald Trump. Donald J. Trump International Airport, the president's company, trademarked it. Okay. I guess the code for the airport would then be DJT, of course, Donald Trump International Airport. And while you're in the Trump airport, they want to sell you merchandise because, of course, they do. The application, this is like they're filing paperwork for this stuff. The application also sought to use the name in connection with a variety of airport-themed merchandise. Okay, what kind of stuff do you want to sell me? Luggage. So I guess we're going to have Trump-themed luggage. Animal carriers. So your dog and cat can travel in style with a Trump carrier. Okay. And then this one was a strange one. It says, quote, shoes for protection of airline passengers' feet during airport security screening. So evidently
they are not aware that you are not asked to take your shoes off when you're going through airport screening. So they have merch for shit that is not even viable because these are people who are flying in private jets. So they want to continue to sell the American public shit they don't need. Let's continue.
Point of view, if you buy Trump-themed shoes, you'll get through airport security faster. So that's their solution for the economy. Trump airports, Trump luggage, Trump pet carriers, and Trump shoes. Now, on top of that, they're telling you guys we're all going to be rich because of crypto. This is Eric Trump. He says, today at Mar-a-Lago, the most powerful leaders in crypto, DeFi, CeFi, have gathered for the inaugural World Liberty Fi Forum. Great. We're uniting the visionaries from crypto, Wall Street, tech, and beyond to shape the future of finance. And I guess they got all decked out for crypto parties. They're going to brag that they now have 6,000 Bitcoins. No, seriously, that's what they're doing. And this is like, they're saying, guys, we're all so rich. Look how great our economy is. Well, listen to this from the real economy, people have to say, over on Fox News.
Listen to this. We've got a new report, and it shows the number of U.S. farms went down last year. Actually, give me the numbers.
Well, those stats are shocking, Stu. The number of U.S. farms shrank by 15,000 in 2025. Yes, it brings the total to 1.865 million, still a lot, but farmland is continuing to face pressure from economic.
Oh, but on the good side, Eric and Don Jr. would tell you, well, hey, well, Acre Traders, the hedge fund that JD Vance owned, has picked up all of those 15,000 lost farms. So the GDP is doing swell. This is what your administration is telling you about the factual economy, as they are telling you how hard the farmers in Argentina are having it. Are they talking about this? Let's continue.
Factors such as urbanization and low or basically negative returns per acre. You're losing money. According to the American Farm Bureau, it is part of a long-lasting decline. We've seen it year after year, while farm bankruptcies, by the way, are on the rise. The largest decline at the state level was Texas. No surprise, it's lost 2,000 farm operations, while no state saw an increase in farms at all. Last year, Illinois, for example, lost 400, Iowa and Indiana 500, Minnesota a whopping 1,300. The numbers show the numbers of farms decreased in every economic category except for farms that make $1 million or more in sales each year, which actually saw a minor increase of 50 farms. But any way you look at it or try to paint it, it's a pretty grim picture.
So that's Fox News basically talking about people going bankrupt and then big corporations doing okay and the little guy losing. This is from Fox News. They're even pushing back, showing you these kind of numbers. And then when you check in on what the Trump economy is doing, people in Congress are starting to investigate them, which they should. It says here, an Emirati royal bought 49% stake in Trump's crypto, and then Trump approved the sale of AI chips to the UAE despite U.S. intelligence concerns. Trump literally sold out our national security for financial gain. It's the Trump 2.0 largest corruption scandal yet. I led my colleagues in demanding the Commerce Department Inspector General immediately investigate the staggering conflict of interest. And it's interesting. So you're going to have political pressure, and you have pressure from even Fox News saying, man, the economy's crap. Look at all these people going bankrupt. And then you can go talk to people on the ground. These are Trump people talking about, hey, what do you think about Trump's AI, industry and how you're all getting rich? This is coming from Trump people. Listen, it says on a cold Tuesday evening last week, about 200 Missourians crammed into a Methodist church. So they're having like this town hall meeting. What about the data centers, etc., to share a message. The AI revolution embraced by Donald Trump's White House did not have their unqualified support. So while Trump's pushing, hey, we're going to have data centers and crypto, we're all going to be awesome, people don't necessarily like it. Here's a quote here from a Trump person. I voted for this administration and didn't really think about AI until it started to affect me. Okay, it's coming from Lisa. She said they lives beside the site of a rapidly greenlit 6.6 billion 400-acre data center development in a satellite city of Independence just east of Kansas City. So she lives next to where this data center is going up for like billions of dollars, right? 400 acres. A worker for a local ministry, Garrett's unease extends beyond the demand of local water and electricity supplies to a broader social impact of the industry it is being built to support. Quote, I have grandchildren. It does concern me that they're being drawn into a world that isn't real. Wow. That's coming from Trump people who, again, they're concerned about their water, electricity, and beyond that, like, are my grandkids gonna be living in like this crypto VR whatever world? And then you got to look at this. This is what the Trump people then brag about their crypto AI data center empire thing.
When the doors closed last time, people went.
Let's go to Eric Trump's data center.
Nuts. By popular demand, we are opening the door.
Hey friends, Eric Trump. Welcome to American Bitcoin. It's a little sneak peek of our facility.
Do you see any employees there? This big facility, do you see any employees there? Massive. Not one employee.
In Texas, using American energy to mine Bitcoin right here on American soil. We could not be more proud of this facility. 35,000 of these servers right here, all liquid cooled.
35,000 servers, all liquid cooled with water that is plugged into your municipal water that is going to bring your water bill up higher. Not one employee.
Securing the network, mining Bitcoin. Every single day we mine about 2% of the world's Bitcoin supply, and we safeguard it every single day. So when people say that cryptocurrency is intangible, it's not. It's very tangible. And this right here, guys, is living proof. Take a look at the company. Come join us. We could not be more excited about our growth.
Mining Bitcoin. He acts like he's mining for gold. Mining Bitcoin. He's act like they're underground mining for gold, for coal, mining for Bitcoin. Servers.
Truly believe that we're building one of the great crypto companies anywhere on earth.
So like even one of the Trump voters is like, I'm kind of worried my grandkids aren't living in the real world anymore, right? And this is what I guess the real world's being replaced with, is a bunch of these Trump people, data centers mining Bitcoin, and they're like proudly saying, wow guys, we're using American power. It's all American. Let's get that Bitcoin.
We're using American energy, all American energy plugged into your power grid that increases your power bill. And I individually will get massively rich from this. And you will help me by paying your water bill and your electricity bill that I am sponging off of you, the American people. And what will you get out of it? You will get AI that will that will help you lose your future. What will you get out of it? You will get an economy built on Bitcoin. We will try to take over the treasury with Bitcoin. The Bitcoin that people buy through our Liberty Financial, all these people in the underworld and all of this undisclosed buyers and the agreements to do X, Y, and Z if they buy their Bitcoin from. That's what you will get. You will get a motherfucking corrupt United States world.
Wow, fantastic. And why do we need Bitcoin and crypto? We'll listen to Eric describe it further on Bloomberg.
Bank that I banked with for 25 years, it took me 120 days to go through and know your customer, right? And you're sitting there saying, why? Why is it every week as a hospitality company, right? I'm trying to get a wire out, or I'm waiting to receive a wire through the SWIFT system, where if I don't get it out by 5 o'clock, and by the way, even if you get it out at 5 o'clock, zero chance it's making there before Monday. When you can transfer $500 million worth of Bitcoin from an iPhone to an iPhone, having a wallet address, at 11 o'clock on a Sunday night, for no fees, for practically no fees. And that scares a big financial institution.
I'm just sitting around on a Sunday night, 11 o'clock.
Who isn't looking to wire out $500 million on a Sunday night?
I got an iPhone. The person.
That's why you should be excited about Bitcoin, because you can wire out $500 million and with hardly any fees. If you just have a wallet. But who is this money coming from, and for what reason are you wiring this money, is a bigger question that you may want to know. He's upset that he has to go through all of these uh, questionnaires about know your customer. What is that? That is the bank making sure that you are not laundering money. That is to make sure that the bank has enough information on you to verify who you are and verify who you sending this money to. But Eric Trump says, who has the time to go through all of this? Who has the time? Just get money, whatever it is for, whatever it comes from. Just get this money. We're going to talk about that as well.
I'm doing business with has an iPhone, and we need to send $500 million. And why do we want to mess with banks who want to like do, money laundering checks or any kind of check on like, hey, where's this money coming from, right? Anti-terrorism checks. But hey, I really need to send that money quickly on a Sunday night at 11 p.m., $500 million. And Bitcoin is fantastic. We can do it all in the USA. Wow. When called out on this stuff, this is what they have to say. This is coming from today on the Trumps.
I want to ask you about, the World Liberty Corporation, which has been in the news. And there was this big Wall Street Journal report about the 49% stake that was sold to an Emirati royal family member after your father was elected president, raising questions about.
Basically, they're asking like, hey, are you bribed? We're pretty sure you're bribed because we just saw a report in the Wall Street Journal. We're all talking about it, and now you're investigated by Congress. Are you taking bribes? Is that what's going on?
This might piss off a lot of seniors
Hold
when
on
they
one
hear this.
second.
If you're on Medicare, you could qualify for the largest grocery allowance card.
Whether they were doing that so they could get access to AI chips.
A, my father has nothing to do with. B, it has nothing to do with AI chips. And C, we met in the Middle East the first time.
Yes.
There's not a person in that room, there's not a banker, there's not a fund manager that doesn't go to the Middle East and to the, whether the sovereign wealth funds of the world. They're some of the biggest investors in every fund.
So we saw this bullshit and lie already.
Like they would love us to do. That's not how we function. That's not how we operate. And you can see that whether it's my father or us, that's never going to happen.
Yeah, we see how your father operates. We see how he has sit downs with that woman who paid $1 million to go to one of his functions, and then miraculously her a sham of a son was got a pardon and did not have to pay back all of the people that he ripped off. Yes, we see how you operate. When the president where was that president from? Not Venezuela, not Nicaragua. Yeah, I think it was Nicaragua. Who sent in 400 tons of drugs to the United States and got 20 years for doing so. You gave him a pardon. Oh, speaking of which, not how this president worked. Honduras, not Nicaragua. Honduras. The Honduran president. Let me share this with you. Since I'm talking about him, since you guys think that everything 45, 47 doing is okay, okay this with your tax dollars. Since we're speaking about the Honduran president, let's go here. How do you feel about your tax? Amid mass ICE arrests, Trump's pardon recipient Juan Orlando Hernandez is given special treatment. After the former Honduran president was pardoned, ICE dropped its detainer on him, and he was whisked away to a luxury hotel in New York City on your tax dollars. Okay. So ICE didn't immediately deport him. He was taken to the Waldorf Astoria, I believe it was. For months, President Donald Trump has railed against Latin America narcotics, flooding the United States with legal with lethal poison. He has used the scourge of drug trafficking as a rationale for dozens of military strikes on alleged drug boats in the Caribbean and East Pacific Ocean, which have left more than 140 people dead. And no proof of drugs, but proof of dead bodies. Last month, Trump cheered a military assault by U.S. forces that captured Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and his wife Celia Flores and brought them to the U.S. to face charges related to cocaine trafficking. Maduro, Trump said, led a vicious cartel that flooded our nation with lethal poison responsible for the death of countless Americans. So he's going to face charges related to cocaine trafficking in the U.S. All the while, prior to him being captured, your president was telling you that he was responsible for bringing fentanyl into our country. Remember that? Do you remember that lie? So if he was bringing fentanyl into the country, why is he up on cocaine charges? Just a question. Okay. But let's continue because we all knew that all of this was bullshit. Okay. But when it comes to former Honduran President Juan Orlando Hernandez, who was tried and convicted in the U.S. in 2024 and sentenced to 45 years in prison for taking bribes and allowing traffickers to export more than 400 tons of cocaine to the U.S., Trump has taken a decidedly softer tone. Hernandez, he said, has been treated very harshly and unfairly, so unfairly that on December 1st, Trump pardoned the former president after he served less than 4 of those 45 years. I think he only served 4 months of that 45 years. I think he only, I think that's a misquote. I think he was only technically in jail for 4 months. I could be wrong. This article, I'm going to link this article as well. Okay. Okay. But the federal government what is that? Management did not end there. On the day he was to be released, records showed that Hernandez had an immigration detainer, a request for law enforcement agencies to hold non-citizens for pickup by immigration and custom enforcement in place. To hold them in place, which means don't open the gate, prison gates, because immigration and customs is coming to pick him up. That was in place even after his pardon. Here too, the Trump administration treatment of Hernandez differed from people in public object objectifies. Now we do remember. What is the guy's name? Abreu Garcia, the first person from the guy from Virginia who was sent to the ICE detainment center by mistake, and they said it was a mistake, and they refused to bring him back home, and then they were forced to bring him back home. But once he got back home, what did they do? They kept him under ICE and ICE detainment. Then they trumped up a charge in Tennessee where he had to go to jail in Tennessee. And once he was released on those charges, they refused to release him. No, they released him for 1 day, and then he had to go back to jail on a ice hole. Remember that? He. This is another new thing about that. They kept this man in custody as an illegally as many times and as long as they could, but not so for this man who actually bought 400 tons of drugs and was found guilty. All of these were accusations that they had on what is his name? Kill something. I forget his first name. Abreu Garcia. All of these were just accusations that was coming out of the lying mouths of Pam Bimbo and Ice Barbie. All of these. He's a narco terrorist. He's with MS-13. He's with a Trinde Aragua. He is a child abuser. He's beating his children. He's a trafficker. He's a SA trafficker. All of these were accusations that they came on TV with their stern faces. He has been released from all custody by a judge and with prejudice, which means they cannot bring him back up on any of these trumped up charges that they have brought this man up on. But this man in from Honduras, not so much for him. You know, the man who wants to make sure that Peter Thiel is able to do any of his experiments and all of these experiments with putting computer chips in the bodies of people who are willing. No, he's not treated like what is his name? Garcia. He's not treated like him. Okay. Here too, the Trump administration treatment of Hernandez differed from it its public objectives. Other non-citizens caught up in recent immigration sweep, the vast majority of whom do not have a criminal record, have faced swift efforts to deport them, even to countries where they may face threats. But in Hernandez's case, the Federal Bureau of Prisons scrambled to get his detainer removed so he could walk free. And walk free where? And Hernandez did not just walk out of prison, despite President budget and staffing shortages. Prison officials said a specialized tactical team overtime to drive Hernandez from a high security facility in West Virginia to the famed five-star Waldorf Astoria Hotel in New York City, according to records and three people familiar with the situation. Before he left, Hernandez was allowed to use the captain's government phone to talk to federal prison system deputy director Joshua Smith, who was convicted in drug trafficking conspiracies before Trump pardoned him in 2021. The Prisons Bureau administration rolled out the red carpet for him, says Joe Rojas, a retired prison worker and former union leader who has been speaking to the media on behalf of the staff who fear reprisals for doing so since Bureau leaders stopped recognizing their union last year. The staff are disgusted. The court appointed a lawyer representing Hernandez, who has long maintained his innocence, said that his client treatment was appropriate. It would be particularly cruel to grant somebody a pardon and have them released from prison only to have them immediately shipped back to a place like Honduras, where they would have immediately arrested him, or he would be killed on sight by criminal elements that wanted to do him harm. He told ProPublica. Through his attorney, Hernandez declined comment. ICE referred all questions to the White House, which responded with the link to the November social media post announcing that President intent to pardon Hernandez Smith did not respond to an email request for comment. The Bureau of Prison spokesperson said in an email statement that the Bureau does not discuss conditions of confinement or security. I guess that's why they are not answering questions while Ghislaine Maxwell is in a prison that does not accept people who have been found guilty of SAing minors. So, and Pam Bimbo wants you to believe that it was all of the bureau or prisons doing that. Someone who is not supposed to be in a prison after being found guilty of exing minors. She wants you to believe that the bureau prison made that decision, not Todd Blanche and not them trying to cover up these Epstein files. But anyway, they're all in it together. The investigation that ultimately ensnared Hernandez stretches across several U.S. presidencies. Despite looming legal trouble stateside and widespread allegations of corruption in his country, Hernandez, often known by his initial JOH, has was seen as a key ally under Obama, the first Trump administration, and ostensibly because of his apparent willingness to help tackle tackle drug trafficking and migration issues. Okay, so you can read the rest of the story. That is the part of the story I wanted to show you. The link to this whole story is in my description box. I think this is still. I think we're still. It's still under the economy. Because this is how they are spending your tax dollars. Look under economy. You will find a link to that. Let's get back to what I was sharing with you on the economy. Let me go back to this.
Happen. We're going to do what we need to do to fight back.
Right? You know, it's the greatest law of like unintended consequences. If you look at what they tried to do when they threw my father off of Twitter, and they did the same to Don and myself and pretty much everybody else in our family. They took us off of Twitter. They took us off of Facebook. They took us off of Instagram.
Now what they're doing is gaslighting you. They'll be like,
Look what they did. You know, they took us off of Twitter. They took us off of Facebook. Look at what they did to us. Of course, we get to steal billions and take government contracts and do all of this fucking corrupt that shit. They took us off of Twitter. They took us off of Facebook. Okay, this link is also in the description box under wait a minute before I leave. Is there I think there's a chart that I want you guys to see. Yes.
Tired of
there's a chart I want to
dragging space heaters around in winter and dealing with bulky window AC units in summer. A new ductless
combining it recession, and you're calling it a boom session. And this chart here, which I think really tells the story, it says spending across income groups by category. And recently, Greer and Hassett were on TV telling you how rich you are and how tariffs and inflation doesn't affect you. You're just so rich, right? Well, this actually really shows it really well. So first is spending, share of spending on shelter. So how much do you pay for your rent, your mortgage, your home, basically, okay? If you're in the bottom 20% of the economic scale, 26% of your income basically then goes to pay for your rent, your mortgage, your housing, okay? If you're more wealthy, a smaller percent of your income goes to pay for housing. And I'm just putting this up there so you can see it for yourself. I know sometimes when you mention too many numbers, some of the MAGA get confused, but basically just things cost more and it's a higher proportion of your income. You have to understand these really basic concepts so you don't get gaslit by these people. Spending on groceries is the same.
People in the chat, you must understand these simple concepts. When I was talking about the roll of toilet tissue, I had a fool in my chat wanted to argue with me. I'm not going to argue with you on simple concepts.
Same story. The further you go down the economic scale, right, when prices go up on food or prices go up on your house, it's a larger portion of how much money you have, right? So easiest way to describe it, let's say you make $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month, something in that nature. And if your groceries go up by $100, that's a pretty sizable chunk. Like you feel it. Whereas like to Elon Musk, you know, billions of dollars or whatever, $100 a month is nothing to him, right? And so this is why you show these kind of charts. This doesn't necessarily capture everything. Why did I say that? Because they lump the top amount in the top 20%, but if you just look at like the top 1%, it would really, really show like how much of disparity that it is. So essentially,
Exactly. Let me see. There is a couple of more things I want to share with you. Uh, um, I'm going to put this in my description box under Are you voting? MAGA, are you voting? Nick
All right, y'all, let's have
Fuentes,
some fun here. So,
Nick Fuentes doesn't see a reason why you should vote MAGA. Even the die-hard gripers are sitting out this election. Are y'all not following y'all hateful leader Nick Fuentes? Let's see what Nick Fuentes has to say. Quite interesting.
don't interrupt them, says Maine. And let's see what Fuentes has to say here.
My message in 26, you could take it or leave it. Don't vote. Don't vote. Do not vote in the midterms. The Republicans have to lose. They have to lose. Shit. They have to crash and burn. A cleansing fire is the only thing that will save us. It cannot be fixed. Fuck them. Fuck Trump. Fuck MAGA. Fuck all this stuff. It can't be fixed. If it could have been fixed, it would have been fixed in 2025, but it wasn't. They made every mistake. Liberation Day, disaster. Doge, disaster. Big Beautiful Bill, disaster. Epstein files, disaster. Iran, disaster. The personnel, Mike Waltz, disaster.
He's spitting right now. He's spitting right now. All that shit was a disaster.
Disaster. Rubio, disaster. Pam Bondi, disaster. All self-inflicted. Trump personnel, Trump policy, Trump strategy, Trump playbook. We tried it your way. It didn't work. Fuck you. Now we don't vote. That's the message. Seriously. Can't blame.
All self-inflicted. But y'all want to pretend like everything is all right. Y'all want to pretend like everything is all right. Y'all want to pretend like when we point out the disastrous administration that this is, that oh no, it's perfect. Oh yes, they can steal from our country. Yes, they can self-deal. They can get Pentagon contracts. They own everything. That's okay. But what about this? What about? Do y'all want to play the whataboutism as you ignore what is going on that is affecting you and how you are living your life?
Anybody else, bad advice, bad advisors, Biden's economy. Enough already. It didn't work. We're not voting. Strategy, Trump playbook. We tried it your way. It didn't work. Fuck you. Now we don't vote. That's the message. Seriously. Can't blame anybody else. Bad advice, bad advisors, Biden's economy. Enough already. It didn't work. We're not voting. I'm staying home.
What about all the Biden? We inherited from Biden. We inherited from Biden. Your own. It be your own people. Telling you the truth.
And you know what? I hope the Democrats impeach him. I hope the Democrats impeach all of them. I hope they indict everybody. I hope they depose and compel the release of documents. And I hope they find all the criminal behavior. And I hope it destroys the GOP.
Oh, shit. Did bro just take my job? I think he just took my job, bro. I think he just said the shit that I was supposed to say. He just said the shit I was...
Your job is going to disappear.
A broke clock is correct twice a day. Isn't that what they say? Even a broke clock is correct twice a day.
I'm not gonna say anything, bro. Go ahead. I'm gonna let it rock.
I hope it creates a crisis for the GOP so severe that they never recover. And then I hope we get a fucking Nazi to run in 28.
He was spitting till he was like, Ich den van Schlagen, Newton, Sieg Heil. He was like, fuck Trump, fuck the Republicans, they fucked up with Doge, they fucked up with Iran, they fucked up with everything. And then he's like, we need an actual Nazi. Yes, a Nazi. Yeah. Bro. By the way, how fucking...
Isn't that curious how that's the only thing that will satisfy the right, all of the bullshit that you guys put up, all of the failures that you are, that a Mexican, half Mexican, feels like it's okay to come out and say that the next thing that should be uh, put into power on the Republican side is a, what he said, Nazi?
And I mean that metaphorically. I don't mean that literally.
Of course you do. You only metaphorically said Hitler was a really fucking cool. He was a really fucking cool. That was only metaphorical.
I hope we get a fucking fascist to run in 28.
I got good news for you if you're pro-fascist.
You
They're
already
in power,
got,
son.
you already have fascists.
Burn the GOP down as a dark horse and win the presidency as a right-wing radical. That is my hope.
The reason why I love this too is because, like, if he gets his way, and he doesn't realize this, of course, but if he gets his way, that only means the Republican Party is more cooked. Like, there is no scenario where somebody to the right of Trump rises up and takes power and wins and gets in office and starts doing actual Nazi things, and Americans.
Okay, so go over there into secular talk, and there's more. How much more could he have said? Go over there and check out Kyle Kalinske on Secular Talk and see his commentary on what Nick Fuentes is saying. I don't want to play all of his video, but I do want to hear what this numbnuts has to say. Nick Fuentes.
If that's what you are, Nick,
without visiting his page personally.
That is fucking brilliant, bro.
That's what I want. I don't trust them anymore. They say, we just got to vote for Vance. No, shut up. I'm not listening to you. The same people that brought you this garbage now want to sell you Vance. I'm not listening. You fucking people told me that Trump was going to deliver a golden age and mass deportations and $2 trillion in cuts and charter cities and all this crap. You lied. It didn't happen.
Okay, a golden age and mass deportations and $2 trillion in cuts. $2 trillion in cuts, by definition, would make it the opposite of a golden age. It's like, sorry, no more Social Security, no more Medicaid, no more Medicare, no more anything positive that the government does, but it'll be a golden age. Like, what?
Now you're struggle and flail around. I'm not voting. And they could say whatever they want. Say whatever you want. Try and squirm and struggle and flail around. I am not listening anymore. I am not voting. I am not reasonable anymore. We all played that for the last, how many cycles? Were we the reasonable ones? Hold your nose and vote. Lesser.
Isn't that funny how all of these podcasters and YouTubers who platform 45, 47, from Joe Rogan to Nick Fuentes to Candace Owens, they are all repelled by him. These are the people who helped get him elected. Let's understand and be real clear about this. And now that they're all having buyer's remorse. Even the fucking bitch Anna Kasparian from TYT and Cenk Uygur, who wanted to understand, well, we need to sit down and let's have a beer with them, and Anna Kasparian being a demagogue to progressive and to the progressive agenda, and now she came back with this, oh well, I'm sorry, I didn't see it coming. I didn't see. The bitch sat up there and told you that that Trump was not going to be following the Project 2025 agenda when she absolutely had heard zero policy come from him all the while that he was on the campaign trail. But she assured you that he was not going to be using the policy of Project 2025. See, these are all the people that got us in the situation, because we understand that a lot of Americans are ignorant. A lot of Americans can't think for themselves. And these black Americans who want to pretend like they are some special type of blackness. These unicorn Negroes who came out here and talked about why Trump was good for this, that, and the economy, and I think that he is good for the economy, and I'm conservative, and I like, and where are these unicorns now? I guess these unicorns have turned into dust or something, because you don't see these unicorns out here talking any dumb shit like that now. You don't see them out here poking their head up to have a conversation about a goddamn thing now. And we're going to talk about another black unicorn. We're gonna get into that fucking Stephen A. Dang Django. We're gonna talk about Stephen Django Smith, who has positioned himself and who has been an apologist and a ball licker of 45-47 this whole administration, while bemoaning and being disgusting to black women. Jasmine Crockett telling her what she should do and all of this stuff. Now we have this raccoon talking about he's going to run for president under the Democrat Party. This apologist for 45-47 thinks that he said he has to sit down and weigh it out and do some studying, which means you don't even know the how your government work, while you were sitting up telling Jasmine Crockett what she should and should not be doing, how she should be doing a job that you don't even know how her fucking job operates. But now you're sitting up talking about you are pondering running for president under the Democrat ticket. Mm, mm, mm. Mm-mm-mm. I didn't know that they allowed raccoons in the in politics. I did not know. Okay, let's finish Nick Fuentes.
Of two evils. We can't let the Democrats win. Okay, well, we let the Republicans win. Look at what that has profited us. I know it's profited Israel. I know it's profited Silicon Valley and Wall Street and the rich.
This also, though, is massive cope, too, because you are getting what you want on immigration. But the fact of the matter is, everybody hates it. It's cruel, it's gross, it's disgusting. You have horror stories of, like, 2-year-olds being deported while they're deathly sick, right? You have senior citizen couples getting fucking their face and bleeding. You have, like, babies being tear gassed and all sorts of... You have horror shows happening. And, like, his reaction is to pretend like, oh, yeah, they're fucking up on immigration, but they're not cracking down hard enough. And it's like, no, dude, that's one of the cores of why the regime is falling apart and why everybody hates it, is because when you actually try to do mass deportations and you go after people who aren't criminals, everybody's like, hey, this is kind of fucked up. It's kind of fucked up. And so this is cope, because like he acts like if you listen to me and you go further right, then everything would be glorious. But no, if they listen to you and go further right, everything will be worse. He was fucking cheering on the assassination of, was it Alex Preddy? I think it was Alex Preddy. And Renee Nicole Good. And he was acting like just another stupid bitch now who's gone. That's a good thing. And it's like, so again, his criticism is you need to murder more people in the streets. And that would somehow make it so you're more popular and everybody loves you. But that wouldn't fucking happen. People would hate MAGA even more. So it's just, it's also incoherent. But again, maybe
go over there and check out Kyle Kalinske. Like I say, I did not want to play all of his stuff, but I just wanted to share a little bit of that with you. Now let's look at Barry Weiss, the other ass licker from CBS, who is another a DEI hire for CBS. She has under the advisement of the FCC chair, the same chair who had Jimmy Kimmel show taken off the air. They were going to do a interview. Stephen Colbert was going to do an interview with James I think it's Corico, who is running for Senate against Jasmine Crockett. So he was scheduled, and they had actually interviewed him, and they went to Stephen Colbert and said that they could not play that interview unless they gave other people who were running equal time, going back to a law that was used, that came into effect in the 1930s, but had not been used. I believe that they must have equal time for each person who is running. But I think they said that the law had not been used since oh, the 80s about this equal time when Ronald Reagan was running. So the right wing will tell you, nonetheless, it is still a law. But if it has not been used since the 80s, so what about all the other times when people have not gotten equal time? So it is about equal time, and they had the CBS attorneys run to him and said, "If you play this, we can get in trouble, and it could be a lot." Now, you remember Barry Weiss was also the same cunt that had them. 60 Minutes stop and not air their CCOT presentation where they went behind the scenes of CCOT. She said because and the lawyers had already approved all the reporting, and she said that they needed to give the White House a voice in the CCOT, and they need to interview someone like Stephen Miller, and so they shut down the CCOT edition, and that edition got out as well. It got out because they played it in Canada. So this Barry Weiss bitch has been doing a whole lot of shit to show that CBS is beholden to the Trump administration. This Barry Weiss chick has done a lot to let you know that she doesn't mind censoring our actual news. This Barry Weiss bitch has made sure that Anderson Cooper, who they were offering another contract, is leaving CBS as well. Let me see. Let's get into this dumb bitch.
Hey, it's Brian Tyler Cohen. In a moment, I'm going to ask you if you can make a $10 donation to More Perfect Union. But first, let me explain why their work is so important.
New boss at CBS, Barry Weiss, has been having a very rough time, and I've been having a very fun time cataloging it along the way. She has lost yet another big star as she tries to refresh and renew CBS to produce news that isn't nearly as interesting to the viewer, but is approved by the White House. Anderson Cooper is now leaving 60 Minutes. He's apparently been there for nearly 20 years. They offered him a contract renewal, and he has apparently said no. Now, some people are saying, wait, isn't he at CNN? Yes, he is normally at CNN, but he also does this job on 60 Minutes, which I've never been a viewer of 60 Minutes, but it is still very big in media. To lose him is a big loss. And so what's interesting is that the fact that he did the show, but also had his main role on CNN, provided a big way to promote 60 Minutes because he could actually use footage from it and discuss it and show it and drive people over to that. Whoever they end up getting to do it right now, and they might have a difficult time getting anybody high profile considering the reputation of CBS right now, is almost certainly not going to have that built-in advertising. And so not good necessarily for the show going forward. Now, he has put out a statement about supposedly his motivation for this. He said, being a correspondent at 60 Minutes has been one of the highlights of my career. I got to tell amazing stories and work with some of the best producers, editors, and camera crews in the business. For nearly 20 years, I've been able to balance my jobs at CNN and CBS, but I have little kids now. I don't want to spend as much time with them as possible while they want to spend time with me. So, is that actually what is going on? Because yes, he does have little kids, and I have a little kid, and so I understand wanting to spend more time with them. That makes sense.
But understand that the Adelsons, what is his name? Larry Adelson. He is also trying to interfere with that Paramount Netflix deal and buy out. I believe it's Paramount.
But that said, when people say that they're leaving,
Paramount, Warner Brothers deal, which would also purchase 60 Minutes. So I guess he's like, shit, if I got to deal with this censorship that they are trying to bring down the pike, I don't want to do it on CNN and on ABC.
A big role to spend time with their family. That always
CNN and CBS, I apologize.
Feels on right now. Like, has the kids, yes, but Barry Weiss has made an utter laughing stock of CBS News. And 60 Minutes, by the way, has not been immune from that effect. They've looked fairly compromised as a result of what Weiss has done. And so I don't know. Some other people are questioning it too. Longtime media columnist at Status News, Brian Lowry, said, "Have worked around Hollywood long enough to know nobody ever really leaves a job to spend more time with their family," which is not proof positive again. You want to spend time with your kids because eventually they grow up and they start routinely insulting you, and you pine for those days. But yeah, I don't know, Sharon. What do you make of this?
I think if someone threw less money at Anderson Cooper and said, "Oh, we'll revive your talk show for half of what 60 Minutes was paying you," he'd do it tonight. Okay.
Okay, that link is in the description box under CBS Kisses Ass. Okay, let's move forward. There's a couple of more things that I would like to share with you that I have pulled aside to share with you. Elon Musk, Tesla's 4X to bankruptcy.
One of the great challenges in this world is knowing enough about subject to think you're right.
I don't actually remember what this is.
In Korea, and they're talking about Elon Musk.
Oh, this is Elon Musk propositioning Korea. Elon Musk wants to, after he's gotten rid of all our jobs, he wants to go over into Korea. He has a big job post put out to Korea that he wants to hire engineers in Korea. So this is what the immigrant to the United States who have a wreck shop in all of our jobs in the United States government. This is what he is positioning himself and putting himself out to hire people in Korea. He says he needs a lot of people to work on his AI, his XAI. He needs a lot of people to work on his chips. Now it's funny that the people in Korea, their response has been, "Oh no, our chips are part of our national security. We do not want Elon Musk to come over here to Korea and siphon off our workers and siphon off the intelligence that our workers would bring with them." So the Korean people are more stealth than the dumb Americans. So Elon Musk is not looking to hire you Americans. You Americans that he put out of a job. No, they all have agreed that the Americans are too dumb because you guys have championed and applauded him taking your fucking jobs. And you still are signing on to Grok to help you do your job while you still have one. So they know you're stupid. They already understand that you're stupid. That's why they're going over to Korea to find people for jobs. And let's get into this story.
And Tesla, what the heck is going on? Well, Musk was tweeting out that he wants to hire Koreans, right? So I guess supposedly now it's make Korea great again. And they won't cover this story on Fox News because obviously it would be a sore subject that.
And another thing. Korea is very stealth on the fact that they have a lot of investigations into how workers are treated by Tesla and Musk working with and under Tesla corporations. They don't want having so many Korean workers to jeopardize the investigations that they already have against Musk and the work ethics at his companies. The Americans didn't have that much concern because every agency in the United States government that were investigating Musk, the 4547, gave him the ability to eliminate all of the fucking investigating agencies that were investigating the way that Musk was abusing the American worker. He eliminated all of the the government agencies that had investigations into Tesla. Let that sink in, because the Americans are dumb. But you keep on going over to Grok and see what Grok has to say to you and has to tell you, and how Grok can help you. Keep on going over to Grok.
Musk is actively looking to hire Koreans. They showed his tweets on the news. Korean flag, Korean flag, Korean flag is like 16 flags. And they're talking about what he's, wants and what he's doing. And I want to show you guys some of the reactions from local Koreans. The actual tweet in English is, if you're in Korea and want to work on chip design, fabrication, or AI software, join Tesla. And Musk tweeted out this twice, once in English and once in Korean. This is some local Korean reaction, if you're curious. Person writes, they're just trying to steal the technician away. Another Korean writes, Elon Musk, this guy's greed is no joke. Wow, his hair is all over the place. Another person, the US is now targeting Korean semiconductors. Another person writes, we can't afford to lose our highly skilled workers, right? Sad face, sad face. So give our country's companies special treatment so they don't get stolen. Another one, wow, they're openly declaring war and saying they're going to steal talent. So again, this is local reaction. I'll read a little bit more. They're blatantly trying to steal our technology. Another person writes, shipbuilding, defense, nuclear power, robotics, semiconductor, and electric power industry are all now national industries. In other words, they are security industries. The government must thoroughly support and foster them. And then another person goes on the job posting, talking about Musk, doesn't say they're hiring college students, but rather they're asking Samsung Electronics core personnel to sell their technology. Obviously, core technology is considered a corporate secret, so leaking it would not only result in criminal punishment, but would also violate a national security act as its core national industry. Chinese offer salaries equivalent to 20, 30 years of salary, but Musk's job posting is a bit of a thug, promising better treatment than Korea. And so essentially people are calling this out, like you're trying to poach, Korean talent away. Another person writes, Samsung and Hynix, it's a big company, chip company, manage your workforce well. Don't let your technology go out. Another person writes, Musk invest tens of trillions of won in Korea to build a fab, and then they'll take over. So this is local response to Musk basically trying to get Korean talent. And again, Fox News won't cover this story that Musk is want to make Korea great again, supposedly. What Fox is covering today is that I guess Elon Musk found Jesus. Seriously, this is Fox News. Elon Musk says he agrees with the teachings of Jesus in a post on X. I agree with the teachings of Jesus. Okay. And this.
Okay. So we see why the dumbing down and how the dumbing down of Americans is in full play. Let me drop this link. I'm gonna put this link under the economy as well, because it actually speaks to how fucked up the American economy is, and that this is one of the reasons why. This will be the last link under the economy. I just wanted to be sure you guys understood that the person who went through in a wreck shop in all government jobs, especially those government entities that were investigating him, he is offering up jobs to Koreans. Don't forget, he's an immigrant. Make immigration great again. Let me see. There is something. I'm sure there is a little something else I want to share with you. Hold on one second. Let's get into the Stephen asshole Django. Charles Tabansi, what is his name? Tabansi. I've never shared any of his clips, but I definitely want to share this with you because I am a subscriber to his channel. I saw his initial Stephen A. Smith post where they asked him if he believed that America was still if racism still existed in America. And he also talked about Stephen A. Smith while upholding everything that 4547 does, saying that he's thinking about running for the American Democrat president. But then uh, with he came back with another clip. I'm gonna play the second clip for you because upon further, he said he didn't. He was so pissed off. He said he didn't want to try to search out Stephen A. Smith past comments on the race thing, but somebody else did, and somebody else found Stephen A. Smith with all of the truth about racism that he now says don't exist. So let me share this with you. Let me share. His link is in my description box. It will be under Stephen Django. In my description box, Stephen A. Django. No, Stephen A. Raccoon. It's going to be under Stephen A. Raccoon. Let me share this with you. Let me see if it's sharing. No, it's not sharing. Let me share this with you. I want you to check this out. Pay a man enough money, they will tell you anything. There we go.
Think with your host, Charles Tabansi. We'll discuss everything from current events, economics, and politics. Let's get into today's video. This is a very serious video, and I'm pissed off. I'm so pissed off right now shooting this video, doing this show for you right now. This is an emergency show. I had no intention of doing a show like this, but I want to do it now. As you guys know, I'm not a fan of Stephen A. Smith at all. I've been saying for over a year now that this guy is a bloody grifter. People like me that originate from the sports world, we have followed Stephen A. Smith for years, going all the way back to the late 2000s. To the late 2000s, 2007, 2008, 2006, 2005. We remember Stephen A. Smith going that far back. And whenever social issues would collide with the sports world, he would almost always take a left-leaning liberal position. This is how we know him. Some people...
Hold on. Oh, hold on. Okay, this is the right one. I thought that this was the initial one before he found actual statements that Stephen the Raccoon has said about race prior to getting his $100 million contract from ESPN and becoming a motherfucking asswipe for white fragility.
People that may be new to Stephen A. Smith that think he's a MAGA, no, he's playing you for a fool. We've always known who Stephen A. Smith was so pro-black to the point where some people would call him a race baiter. Now, where's all of this coming from? Recently, Stephen A. Smith did a sit down on CBS where they asked him, does he believe that race will play an issue if he ran for president and if it's an issue in the United States? I want to quickly play what this guy said for you, and we're going to come back. Take a listen to this guy here.
Make no mistake about it, we wouldn't have a border crisis under my watch. Hell no. We wouldn't have this crime that exists in the streets of New York. You wouldn't hear about me saying defund the police. We ain't defunding any police. I'm calling 911 when there's a problem. I know you're calling 911 when there's a problem. I'll be damned if I'm going to have less police officers out there. There's going to be more. That's me.
The simple fact that anybody is seriously talking to this person for running as the Democrat candidate for president is fucking insulting. The shallowness of this conversation that you have to speak with this person about anything about governing America is embarrassing. Embarrassing. And he is acting. He really thinks that someone is taking him and him being a candidate seriously. A buffoon. A whole fucking buffoon.
I would focus on a flourishing economy and making sure we did everything we could, because I believe when you have something to lose, you know how to behave.
For example, you would focus on a flourishing economy, such as by doing what? Nothing.
When you have something to lose, you know how to behave. If you have nothing, you have nothing to lose. And as a result, you're willing to tear down anything, even if it's America, because you feel betrayed by a country that's supposed to be looking out for you and positioning you to thrive instead of wallow in misery and suffering. So of course I would pay attention to the economy. I would pay attention to all of those things.
Would you worry about racism if you ran for president?
No. I know it exists. I know that you can't escape it, but I do not believe it is as prevalent as some on the left would like us to believe. I do
not believe it is as prevalent as some on the left would have us to believe. So you have only heard of racism talked about on the left. So when you hear the racists on the right say they are racist shit, that is not them talking about racism as they are being racist. You only hear about racism on the left because it is being challenged. But when you hear the racism that you know exists, you pretty much figure that it doesn't exist as much as the left challenge it. Make that make sense.
believe a vast majority of Americans judge you on the content of your individual character rather than the color of your skin. I think a lot of people in America, especially in this day and age, now more so than ever before, it's not about race. It's about
Now, especially in this day and age, now more than ever before, are we going to pretend like we don't see the uptick in blatant racist attacks on people? The emboldenment of that racism has had in this short term since 45, 47 has been back in office. We're going to pretend like we have not seen an uptick in racist ideas. The simple fact that this administration alone has taken down civil rights laws. This whole administration has tried to criminalize black employment based upon what he wants to you to believe. DEI is so horrible because it has black people employed, it has black people getting educated, it has attorneys taking up cases for black people. The simple fact that this administration is actually trying to put white men in victimhood mode, as we saw JD Vance hit the stage at Turning Point USA and tell white men that they don't have to be ashamed of being white men anymore, as they told the EEOC that if you've been discriminated at your job and you are a white man, is this nigga serious? That's what I need to know. Is this motherfucker serious? And trying to pretend that he has seen less racism I guess you can't see too much racism when you got your head up the ass of the racists themselves. But let's continue.
The fact that they don't give a damn about it because they got their own problems. That's entirely different than believing they are superior to you and they want to hold you back from ascending. That's not what's going on to the degree that it was decades ago. Than ever before. It's not about race. It's about the fact that they don't give a damn about it because they got their own problems. That's entirely different than believing they are superior to you and they want to hold you back from ascending. That's not what's going on.
That's not what's going on when they want to hold you back, saying that you are a DEI hire, that you got where you are. When they call Ketanji Brown Jackson a DEI hire for the Supreme Court. Are you serious, motherfucker? When they want to say Kamala Harris was a DEI hire? Are you serious, motherfucker? He's trash. This man is trash.
On to the degree that it was decades ago. What's going on now is that we have more white Americans and others suffering and worried about the state of our nation. And because they're
because they continue to vote against their own interests, we are supposed to be concerned that there's more white people are worried about their condition, the condition that they put themselves in because they wanted to act as if they believe they fell into the trap of believing that if they just continue to vote for people who offered them nothing in their lives because they wanted to tell them that they were victims of immigrants, they were victims of black people, they were victims of this, that, and the other. They were always the victim. And if you just keep voting for me, I'm gonna give the rich people tax cut. So we supposed to feel any type of way that now white people are feeling the pain of their fucking votes, motherfucker. Anyway.
Concerned about that. That's where they're working. That's not what's going on to the degree that it was decades ago. What's going on now is that we have more white Americans and others suffering and worried about the state of our nation. And because they're concerned about that, that's where their worries lie. Like what I'm seeing, but everything that he does is not wrong. The borders needed to be closed. He was right to do that, but only because Biden opened them. Had Biden followed Barack Obama's method and his plan and what he did in deporting even more people than Trump did in his first term, you wouldn't hear me saying that. But when you let anywhere from 12 to 15 million people cross the border illegally, swearing in our face, spitting in our face and telling us it's raining, figuratively speaking, by telling us there was no border crisis when clearly there was, emergency efforts were necessary.
The stock market is open for nearly 7 hours a day, but don't even think about trading it after.
Great. So you heard what he had to say. It's not a big deal. That's not really the big issue, right? And some people call them out, and I'm looking at him. I'm like, this guy is shameless. But what can you expect for someone that wants to be a politician? Because most of them are. Let's just be honest about it. And the thing that had been pissing me off is that in the shows that we had been doing, I had been saying this guy is a grifter. He's a Democrat masquerading as a Republican because he's trying to ride the wave, but is unwilling to call himself a Democrat. So therefore he calls himself an independent.
But he wants to say that he's going to run on the Democratic ticket. Now, I don't want to play all of this video. Go over there and check this channel out because the link is in my description box under Stephen A. Raccoon. This will most likely be my last link I share with you. Go over there and check him out. I hope this is the right video. I want to get to the point where he actually found some footage. See, I'm not familiar. I'm a little familiar with Stephen A. Smith. My husband used to watch First Take years and years ago, but my husband Ben stopped watching Stephen A. Smith. I was shocked. He used to be a every morning Stephen A. Smith years ago, but so I'm not up on him. And this guy says he does sports reporting, and he has recently come over to doing reporting on politics. Go over there and check out his show. He does several. I think he has 2 or 3 channels where he dedicates his channel to specific agendas. So I am not familiar with all of the ins and outs of Stephen A. Smith. I know that he's always in the media, but he has been particularly in the media as he always is on Chris Cuomo's show on News Nation, sitting up with Bill O'Reilly and being the a raccoon, the best raccoon that he can be for these people. And Sean Hannity, that is his friend, and all of this. So let's keep it a buck. That's who I've seen him to be as of lately. So he has known him. He says he's being a charlatan. He's trying to get at that money. Now many people know to be a black person spouting 45, 47 values. That is the way that many people have decided to go to try to get money. Now, the latest person to find that didn't work out for them so well is Candace Owens. Candace Owens recently was called a DEI hire by one of the producers over at the Turning Point USA facilities. He said that she was a DEI hire, and she was no better than Ketanji Brown Jackson. I'm pretty sure she's not any better than her. I'm pretty sure she's not half as educated as her. So he looks at Candace Owens, and he's telling her, we only hired you and you were only hired in conservative media because you were the only black fool who would attack other black people. So that was the only use you had to us, and you are no better of a DEI hire than Ketanji Brown, when we know that Ketanji Brown Jackson was a highly educated attorney, served her country. And she's being compared to the likes of Candace Owens, who would take a dime to defame her own people. So, Turning Point USA has called Candace Owens a DEI hire. Their biggest insult. Their biggest insult for people who are educated enough to get jobs that their uneducated cohorts cannot get. That they want you to feel bad about your education that got you in positions that they could not achieve, because sitting resting on your laurels and just depending on your white skin to get you through, stop working for them. And when they realized it stopped working for them, a whole lot of educated black women had outpaced the education of white women in the United States. And they weren't happy about that. So you're supposed to be insulted because you're intelligent enough and you're educated enough to get the jobs to achieve where the other people just thought that it should have been they should be just bought in because of the colors of their skin. But now your education doesn't matter because of the color of your skin. But the thing is, them other people who just wanted to sit up and get bought in because they sucked dick well, because they sat on dick well, because they bent over in front of the boss well, all that shit, you ain't getting a job either. Because not only did Elon Musk take the job from the black woman, he took the job out of the whole motherfucking United States of America, the being of America. He took the whole fucking job. So deal with it. I don't know where I got on that. Let's get to the crux of what he has to say about who is the real Stephen. Stand up. Stand.
This might piss off a lot of seniors when they hear this. If you're on Medicare, you could qualify for the largest grocery allowance.
About how much race plays a role in corporate America, Brian then proceeds to play an amalgamation of clips of Stephen A. Smith bemoaning and crying about how much race plays a role in corporate America all throughout the years. For those of you, and we're going to play it, usually we play audio, I want you guys to look at this grifting you know what, showing who he really is in contrast with who he's pretending to be today. Take a look at Stephen A. Smith here.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's no way around this. This is white privilege. We are still black in this country. We don't trust this country in terms of meritocracy always. We know the bottom line is that just like women are underpaid compared to male counterparts, blacks are underpaid compared to white counterparts. Has no team. They ain't African Americans that have been toiling through the terrain and trying to become executives in the National Basketball Association. Last time I checked, that's the case. We see coaches on the sideline. They don't want to become head coaches. They've been assistants for years. You, as a black man that points out these kind of things, this kind of inequities when they take place, I want to make sure Nathaniel Hackett knows this is nothing against him. He gets the job with the full support of Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, who, by the way, never insisted that a black candidate be interviewed and be put front and center so we'll know who that individual is. We got Brad Stevens here. About when we talk about the ease with which dehumanization kicks in when it comes to black men. What I can tell you is this. Numerous coaches, black coaches, called me expressing how they took issue with that podcast taking place. They call it Black Friday for, Black Monday rather for a reason. This certainly typifies it. I don't know why it's not called White Monday. Doug Peterson got fired from Jacksonville. He deserved that firing. The one thing that I want to say is that in this nation, on too many occasions, we've lamented black fathers, the absence of black fathers and all of this other stuff. So I find it very, very ironic that when that's not the case with those three men that I mentioned, all of a sudden it's a problem. In other words, y'all won't say it, I'll say it. Those in America who think differently, you kiss our ass.
So you saw him. That's who this dude is. And he's playing a lot of you guys for the fool. Some of his supporters that are Republicans or MAGA or whatever that want to believe in this guy, they don't even know he voted for Kamala Harris. Go look up the Fox News article. Type in Stephen A. Smith votes for Kamala Harris, and you will see him say he regrets voting for Kamala Harris. And another quote, you hear him saying he felt pressured voting for Kamala. No, this is who this guy.
His regret and his tilt came with his with the tilt of hey, I can get more money if I lean more right. So what is the greatest tilt? I regret voting for Kamala Harris. I felt pressured to vote for Kamala Harris. Let me tell you something. If you, as an old ass, grown ass, established man, want to say that you felt pressured to vote for a political candidate that has the ability to put policies in effect that affect you and how you live your lives and how you and your loved one live your lives, and you felt pressured, you're a bitch. You're a stone cold bitch. Who feel pressured to vote for someone? All right. This link is in my description box. Go over and check this gentleman out. Charles Tabasi. Check him out. Is there anything else? I think that's it for me today. Let me make sure. Let me see. Let me see. A lot of you just got familiar with the guy who's running against Jasmine Crockett, James Tararucci. I think I know I'm mispronouncing his name. And what I want to tell you is they are running in Texas. They successfully removed Jasmine Crockett's congressional district. That was their plan, and that is what they did. And instead of running for a congressional seat, she decided to run for the senator. And there was I forget the guy's name who was running for senator, and he and her, they switched places. A black guy, they switched places. What I now I love how Jasmine Crockett says the things that need to be said. I'm just this is not the thing that I wish for Jasmine Crockett, but I understand that she has a excellent excellent representation throughout the United States. I understand that she has a large support in the African American community and in other communities in Texas as well. But something tells me that unfortunately this is going to be a hard run fight for her to get the Democrat nomination in Texas, and I definitely hope she gets it. While James Terrarucci, he doesn't have a national presence. I did a story, Terrarico. What is his name? While he doesn't have a national presence, obviously, because I still can't get his name right. He definitely has a good following in Texas. He has done a lot of fighting in his congressional. I think he was had a. I think he had a state congressional seat in Texas as well, and he did a good job. I first came upon him when he was fighting to keep the Bible and the Ten Commandments out of schools. That's when I first ran upon him. So yeah, he has a reputation in Texas as well. He's also an ordained minister. Let's understand that. Let me see. Oh, today in Black History. Today it is still February. I almost forgot. I'm glad I was going through. I almost forgot to do our Black History presentation. I will do a Black History presentation throughout February. I'm going to say that for last because we need to get people like Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck.
Record, edit, and share your content all in one place with Riverside.
We definitely need to get rid of these people. When you have people in office more beholden to Israel than they are to the American people. It is just too quiet. There should be so many bills and actions of flowing through the Democrats about the lawlessness of this administration, but they are absolutely quiet. So let me share this with you.
Waj asked him some difficult questions, in particular about ICE and about AIPAC. Let's go ahead and take a listen to this exchange on ICE in particular.
Just today, it came out that ICE is using $38 billion to convert warehouses into camps. I'm going to call them concentration camps. Your colleague, Representative Raskin, went to one just yesterday in Maryland and said there were 60 people cramped like sardines in one room who only had access to one toilet. 65% of people taken by ICE had no convictions. That's from the Cato Institute, a right-wing institute. ICE has killed 8 people this year alone that we know of. 2 of them, Renee Nicole Good and Alex Pretty. The latest polls came out this week, AP polls. Over 60% of Americans now disapprove of ICE. That means in 3 weeks, it's gone from 30% to 60%. Now, if I may, I'm going to be a bit blunt here. Leaders lead. And what we've seen is people are impressionable. If you lead on something, people will follow. It seems the wind is behind your back for the first time ever. ICE has a history. CPP has a history of terrorizing Black and brown communities. People are asking themselves, why are we, our taxpayer dollars, paying for masked, lawless men to terrorize our communities, kidnap people, take children, and kill Americans? So I ask you, and I'm doing a following up to Joy, because I want an answer to this. You said you want to rein in ICE. I'm talking about the long term now. Why not lead and say abolish ICE? Because what you're telling us is you want our taxpayer dollars to pay for a lawless masked armed agency to continue terrorizing our cities. And I'm trying to figure out how you, as a leader, can be telling Americans that their taxpayer dollars should be going to ICE.
I don't understand anything that you just said. I don't understand anything that you've just said to me when I've made clear that taxpayer dollars should be used to make life more affordable for the American people, not brutalize or kill them. That's the whole reason we're in this fight right now. That's the whole reason the DHS is getting ready to shut down. That's
so
the whole
abolish
reason
ICE.
why
You agree with me, Joy? Abolish ICE.
Listen, I'm going to use the language that I want to use. You can use the language that you want to use.
And all of this tough talking is getting us absolutely nowhere. Let's continue.
I don't understand anything you're saying, and I mean
he understands exactly what he was saying. He stands for absolutely nothing. Let's get on the AIPAC money. Let's see about this AIPAC money. And understand he is getting very little AIPAC money as opposed to how much money other people. He's selling out for so little money on this AIPAC money.
AIPAC now has spent $2 million attacking a moderate-leaning Democrat, Tom Malinowski, a Democrat, in the special House election in New Jersey 11th District. And we got a progressive Latina, Representative Mejia, who won, who, by the way, says abolish ICE. My question for you, if you're looking for accountability, if you're looking for change, shouldn't Democrats stop taking money from AIPAC that has spent so much money against Democrats?
Well, listen, everyone's going to have to make their individual decision. My view as it relates to Democratic incumbents, first of all, is that I will continue to stand by every single one of them, whether that's Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez on the one hand, or the most conservative, moderate Democrat on the other, who's sitting in the Trump district and at all points in between, right? That's what I'm going to do as House Democratic leader. Now, in terms of how people individually...
Where's the leadership? Where is the leadership in this man?
Fundraise. I'm proud of the fact that my average contribution amongst the millions of dollars that I've been working hard to raise for my own reelection that I use to help elect Democrats in other parts of the country is $27 per contributor. That's my average contribution. That's probably the lowest in the Congress. And so now everyone is going to raise money from their own constituents in different ways, and their own constituents are going to have a variety of different perspectives on a variety of different issues. But make no mistake, There's a big difference between Democrats and Republicans, and we're seeing that right now.
Will you stop taking money from APEC?
I'm going to continue to raise money in the same way that I've been raising it, where the average contribution from millions of people across the country is $27 per contributor.
So I can average out the money that I make for anything. I can average out the number of hairs that I have on my head is equivalent to X amount of fairy dust tails. He's trying to tell you that he gets $27 per people in his district based on what he collects. And if you divide that by the number of people in my district, that is equivalent to them paying $27 a piece. And that's what I get in contributions. However, you're not getting $27 from every person in your district. You're getting APAC money. And plus whatever you pull in from any other money interest, any other individual contribution. Let's not try to take all our money we get from slinging dick and then try to pretend like you got all this money from each person in your district contributing to your campaign funds. This is bullshit, and we need better. And this is why the Democrats find themselves in the position that they are right now. Now, let me share. Since they, you understand that they are trying to shrink this ICE budget, and if you're not concerned about that ICE budget, understand that the ICE, all of this harm and brutality that you see that's going on in ICE is going to be actually the police force that will be out if these midterm elections don't go well. So Kristi Noem has already pretended as if there's a reason for ICE to be out securing the elections. You know, they've already practiced taking ballot boxes and all of this type of stuff. Understand, these are the people who are going to be out. Understand that all of the people who have been, there was I'll cover that tomorrow. Let me share this with you. Understand that ICE is getting their practice of how they will be brutalizing American citizens. That is my opinion. Understand that 4547 has two warships on the way to Iran. We heard him when he said with the Zelensky in the White House, "Oh, you don't have to have an election if there is a war going on. Oh, I may have to use that pretty soon." If he does not use the fact that he is choosing to go over and to meddle and with Iran, you can be sure. I would bet a nickel to nails that there is going to be a whole lot of bullshit that's going to surround these midterm elections. And if you don't think that federal agents will not be busting citizens across their heads behind this election, you are sadly mistaken. If you do not believe that there is going to be some blatant trying to steal the ballots, he's already said that he wants to take over the election in 15 states. These 15 states, swing states. 15 swing states. He wants to take over, federalize the elections. The elections are not a federal things. These are elections. Federal elections are based upon states' rules and regulations of how they are going to carry out their elections. So all of this federalization, all of that shit is illegal. All of this is illegal shit. But the reason that I have watched what he has done in ICE with these undocumented immigrants, the reason why I have shown you what these people are willing to do because it ought to frighten you. Because if you don't think that these people are going to use the same tactics on American citizens, you are sadly mistaken. See, every country has to have its own borders. I am not for open borders. I am not for open borders at all. But the brutality of the illegality that has been brought upon people, and some of the people who got it worse has been American citizens who've lost their life for actually using their constitutional right to protest their government. And y'all still think that y'all can trust this administration when they come up and have no respect for the no no respect for the law themselves, and just refuse to answer questions, disobey court orders, ignore court orders? Do you think that this man is going to allow the House or the Senate to be taken over by Democrats per the vote of the American people? Do you think that he's not going to try to call this midterm illegal? He's already telling you it's illegal. He's already telling you that you can't trust the vote unless Republicans win. He's already telling you that. So let's see what this administration is also capable of.
A 2-month-old baby. ICE is currently detaining a 2-month-old baby who has spent half his life inside of a detention facility, a private prison in southern Texas, and his health is rapidly deteriorating. This may be one of the more important updates I've done in a while because it needs national attention. So please like, comment, share, subscribe, boost this everywhere you can, because the story of Juan Nicolas is a story that every American needs to know about. And hopefully, with the story that is spreading, ICE will release Juan from custody. Let's break it down right now. This is Juan. He is ICE's youngest detainee. He is 2 months old. He has spent half his life inside the walls of a private prison in Texas, the Dilley Detention Facility. Juan is currently suffering from serious deteriorating health conditions, rapidly deteriorating respiratory issues, all inside the Dilley Detention Facility. The Dilley Detention Facility is the same facility where Liam Ramos was once held, the same facility where Liam Ramos's health rapidly declined inside the facility. Let's talk about it. The Migrant Insider is now reporting that it was approaching midnight in Dilley, Texas, where a 2-month-old boy named Juan Nicolas required immediate medical attention because he couldn't breathe, and the doctor wasn't there. His mother, a woman who had crossed whatever desert and river and checkpoint stood between her child and the life, screamed for help the way only a mother can scream. And what came back was a shrug dressed in official language. No physician on site at this hour, nothing to be done. This is the United States of America in 2026. Juan Nicolas turned 2 months old inside an ICE private prison. He has been alive for roughly 60 days. For more than 3 weeks of this 60 days, half his time on Earth. He has been the property of Core Civic, a private prison facility that bills the federal government for the privilege of jailing infants, and which will tell you with a straight corporate face that emergency care is available around the clock. However, it wasn't available last night when this baby needed it. A doctor isn't a press release. A doctor is someone who shows up. And last night, we got word from a local journalist in Texas that Juan Nicolas needed help, and there was no one there to help him.
I just received a call from the Dilley Detention Center. Juan Nicolas has been rushed to the hospital, and I've been able to confirm this with family members of Juan Nicolas and his parents on the outside. It's unclear what happened for them to take him to the hospital. It is my understanding that he was taken by ambulance. So at some point, the decision was made that he should be taken to a hospital immediately. At this time, I'm still working to gather more information. All that I can ask from everyone who's been keeping up with this case is to please pray for this baby. He's just 2 months old. He's been sick for about 3 weeks. And I really hope that later tonight or tomorrow, I have a positive update for you guys.
Look at that before your very eyes. OMG. You need Prime Cosmetics Color Changing Foundation. I can just put a thick layer in. Look at that. You watch how this smooths in and magically blends it in. Goes to the color of your skin. This
I apologize.
That's real. He has real respiratory issues. Congressman Joaquin Castro walked into the Dilley Medical Wing earlier this year, looked around, there was nobody there. Not a nurse, not an aide, not a clipboard with a pulse reading. The clinic that Core Civic advertises evidence of its humane care sat empty in the middle of the afternoon, like a diner that stopped serving food but kept the sign lit. Castro has been pushing ICE hard to release the baby and his mother. This is what it has come to in America. A United States congressman has to push hard to get a 2-month-old out of a cage. He has to go on Instagram Live. He has to call local television. He has to treat the release of an infant as a legislative priority. Meanwhile, Juan Nicolas's immune system, still being assembled, still figuring out how the world works, has been fighting respiratory illness in a facility where measles recently walked through the door, where mothers report struggling to get clean water for formula, where sick children cycle through ibuprofen and basic antibiotics until they deteriorate badly enough that someone calls an ambulance. And that's what happened to Juan last night. Someone called an ambulance. As the Migrant Insider puts it, the people who built the system will tell you it is not a choice. They will say these are complex policy questions. They will say that if you release one family, 1,000 more will follow. They will hide behind the word deterrence the way people hide behind the word regrettable. But deterrence is an abstraction, and Juan Nicolas is not. He is a boy who has been alive for 2 months. He has never seen a park. He has never felt grass. He does not yet know what a dog looks like or what it feels like to sleep. That isn't a government contract. He knows his mother's voice, and he knows hunger, and he knows in whatever way a 2-month-old registers such things, that he is sick. And the people responsible for him were not there when he needed them at 3 a.m. It's not complexity, it's a choice. Someone made it, someone signed the contract with Core Civic, someone set the staffing level, someone decided that a newborn asylum seeker was a detention problem and not a human emergency, put their name on it. That is all journalism ever asked. Now it comes as ProPublica has exposed letters, heartbreaking letters written by children inside the same detention facility. Here's the first. Hello, my name is Susie F., and I am 9 years old. I am from Venezuela. I have been 50 days in Dilley Immigration Processing Center, and I want to go back to my country. But I miss my school and my friends. I feel bad since when I come here to this place because I have been here too long. I have been 2 years and 6 months in the United States, and I was happy with my friends in the school. But now I need to leave. I miss my family and my country, so now I want to go to Venezuela, but my mom do not want to leave because she wants a better future for me. Hola, my name is...
Okay, the link is in my description box under baby, what is it? Under baby in detention. I would also like you to understand that ICE has gone through all of the cells of these children, have made sure they have removed anything that they could write such letters again from. They have gotten the word out that these letters are being disseminated to the press, and they're so therefore they are ensuring that they will not be able to write any letters. Suddenly seems like they will not be able to do any homework or anything. They will not even be taking their voice away from them. I just wanted you guys to know this, and let me share my Black History presentations with you, because we know that Black History Month is being taken away through this 45-47 administration, but I will not allow that to happen. As I share with you some information about Black history. Let me get into it. For some of you who don't even know why there is a such thing as Black History Month.
They call was in the first few decades of being published, then called the Journal of Negro History, now called the Journal of African American History. I should mention parenthetically that he also spent time teaching in the Philippines during the time of the U.S.
Hold on. You got to understand who he's speaking of.
Woodson was born in West Virginia.
Carter G. Woodson. Carter G. Woodson. I haven't gone back enough. Here we go.
Published Black History Month and maybe what it means to be celebrating its 100th anniversary.
Well, Carter G. Woodson was born in West Virginia and received a doctorate in history and immediately, if not sooner, helped to establish the journal that is still being published, then called the Journal of Negro History, now called the Journal of African American History. I should mention parenthetically that he also spent time teaching in the Philippines during the time of the U.S. occupation in the first few decades of the 20th century. The concept of Negro History Week, as it was originally called, was primarily an anti-defamation enterprise. That is to say that, as is well known, particularly by your audience, Black people have been defamed repeatedly because that was used to justify enslavement and then used to justify Jim Crow or U.S. apartheid. So when Carter G. Woodson initiated Negro History Week, now Black History Month, it was an attempt to bring out the other side, the freedom side, if you will. And I think it's fair to say that it has been fairly successful, even during these tempestuous times of Mr. Trump. What I mean by that is that routinely, before 2025 at least, there were Black History Month celebrations at schools, at workplaces, for example. And those are still going on to a degree, despite the offensive led from the White House.
Want to flush out edema? Stop doing this first. It's kind of surprising, but edema swelling.
And to speak to that offensive that you reference, I'm curious if you could maybe help us understand this attack on Black History Month from, in the broader context of, maybe American imperial policy and domestic repression. Obviously, there's been a long-standing attack on Black History Month, on the way that slavery is taught, specifically from the right, but it's really gone on, it's been on steroids with this administration. So, yeah, is this rewriting of the past, not just trying to obviously rewrite history, but also is it sort of a prerequisite for justifying the kinds of political crackdowns and foreign interventions we're seeing today?
Well, to a degree, that's true. I think you cannot begin to understand the killing of George Floyd on camera in Minneapolis in 2020 without understanding this continued violence and savagery directed against Black people, which has roots directly within the founding of the so-called republic. That is the nub, because it's difficult to reconcile the soaring rhetoric of the Declaration of Independence and some of the rhetoric of the U.S. Constitution with the bestial manner in which Black people have been maltreated and mistreated. Not only that, but in recent years, there have been a number of attempts to bring this contradiction to a wider audience. I'm thinking of the 1619 Project of Howard University's Nicole Hannah-Jones. I'm thinking of the documentary by the Haitian filmmaker Raoul Peck, Exterminate All the Brutes, a searing excavation of settler colonialism, a term that is not often used, sadly enough, even by our friends on the left, to describe what's befallen this continent. I'm thinking of the late Berkeley historian Tyler Stovall, his book, White Freedom, for example. And so there has been a counteroffensive against the Republican propaganda, and they have now responded by seeking to remove exemplars of slavery, for example, from George Washington's residence in Philadelphia beginning in 1790.
I mean, it really is amazing on many, I mean, you know, as if people didn't know George Washington owned slaves. But, you know, it seems so notable to me in many ways. And I want to note the point we made at the entry in your recent book, The Capital of Slavery, because, I mean, what you're saying seems so written in the history of the country and the contemporary reality. Yesterday, the Senate voted to essentially make it impossible for D.C. to vote for its own budget, and the long history of disenfranchisement in Washington, D.C. But the nation's capital having such a seminal role in the early part of the country as a center of the slave trade, I feel like speaks so much to what you're saying, Dr. Horn.
Well, not only that, but it's been captured by Hollywood. You're probably familiar with the film 12 Years a Slave, based on a true story of a free black man, Solomon Northup, inveigled to come to Washington, D.C., where he was enslaved. Washington, D.C. was a major center for the African slave trade. Not only Washington, D.C., but across the river in Alexandria, Virginia, a major center for the African slave trade. Virginia, just across the water from Washington, was also a major center for the breeding of Africans. That is to say, Africans being treated like bulls, where we were bred fundamentally to be shipped to not only slave markets in New Orleans, but ultimately some were shipped to slave markets in Cuba and Brazil, for example. And so Washington, D.C., despite, once again, the soaring rhetoric, was the capital of slavery. It's no accident that a disproportionate number of the U.S. presidents before the U.S. Civil War were slave owners. A disproportionate number of U.S. Supreme Court justices were slave owners. It's no accident that the national anthem, the Star-Spangled Banner, in its third stanza, denounces black people because we did not necessarily stand with the Republic during the invasion of the Redcoats, the British, during the War of 1812. And Mr. Trump and his acolytes would like to erase and eradicate this difficult history and instead put forward a history that they consider to be, pardon the expression, hunky-dory.
You know, I want to ask.
Tired of dragging space heaters around in winter?
Exhibit removed from the. But first, on this President's Day, a major update in the fight over the slavery exhibit removed from the President's house site in Center City. I'm RonyiQ Washington.
And I'm Natasha Brown. A federal judge just ruled on a lawsuit in the city's favor, saying this exhibit must be restored. And CBS Philadelphia's Dan Snyder is live on Independence Mall. Dan, you've got the very latest.
Yeah, good evening to you guys. You know, this historic site was in part meant to honor the enslaved people who were held here. And aside from being President's Day, that ruling came down coincidentally at a time when dozens of people had gathered here rallying to demand that these exhibits be put back up. Now, while they are celebrating today, they also tell us that they don't believe their fight is over just yet. It was the moment Michael Cord with the Avenging the Ancestors Coalition announced to a crowd of dozens a federal judge sided with the city of Philadelphia and ordered all exhibits that were removed from the president's house to be put back.
But better than fighting the good fight is winning the good fight. And today we won.
The judge's ruling says the site must be restored to its standing on January 21st, the day before the exhibit was removed. It came after President Trump's executive order last year titled Restoring Truth and Sanity to American History. The news also came as people with the coalition were holding a President's Day rally, calling for the panels to be restored.
So this has been a very rewarding effort, but also it's crazy that in 2026 we still have to do this. In 2026 we still have to fight for the truth.
The Interior Department has not commented on today's ruling so far. However, in a statement last month, the department said in part they were not, quote, erasing history, and that, quote, the order directed a review of certain interpretive content to ensure parks tell a full and accurate story of American history. The department also said signage should be, quote, informed by current scholarship and expert review, not through a narrow ideological lens. But those who have fought for the restoration of this site say this is a true telling of history.
We understand that our history isn't great, our history has blemishes, but we have to tell it because it is the history of this country. It is what made this country, and it is the fabric of this country.
Cord says he believes the federal government will appeal the decision, which could keep the displays down longer. In the meantime, people have taken to putting up their own signs.
I felt that it was a horrible thing that they would take our history down. I think it's everybody's history.
And while Cord believes there's still a fight ahead, he said he's optimistic about today's news.
So this tells me that there's some glimmer of hope for the future of America.
Now, the judge's order also says the government cannot damage the displays or make any more changes here. There is no timetable for when the exhibits will be restored at this site. However, Cord does tell us he doesn't expect the federal government to move quickly as they go through a potential appeals process. For now, live at Independence Mall, Dan Snyder, we'll send it back to you.
I don't know how long I have been on mute. If you guys did not know, there is a big sewage break. Did you guys hear any of that I said prior to me playing my last video? If not, I apologize. There's a big sewage break, and there is raw sewage flowing into the Potomac River. The Potomac River is, as you know, is part of Washington, D.C.'s responsibility. The federal government is responsible for maintaining the Potomac River. However, your ignorant ass president is blaming Westmore, the governor of Maryland, for the stench of the Potomac River, and he's trying to put that on Westmore, who actually has offered to send workers out there to help them to repair this. So you have your ignorant ass president trying to blame his incompetence, his inability to do his job correctly, because you do know that he's a DEI hire, so therefore he cannot properly do his job. So he needs to point at the governor of Maryland and tell you that it's his fault. So the governor of Maryland has offered to you didn't hear what I said? Okay. Oh, well. So the governor of Maryland is going to have to, has offered to send some engineers out to help them. So they said that they would have it fixed. This was last week, that they should have it fixed within a week. But now it has turned out to be over 2 months. And you should see the amount of raw sewage that is leaking in the Potomac. Let me see if I can find it real quick. me see if I can find it. Okay, let me share this with you. After a major pipe rupture. They say you can see exactly. They say you can see exactly what it is, and basically you can definitely see that it is sewage. Let me share. I'll try this one. I haven't seen any of these little clips that I'm about to share with you. So we'll just try this one out. Let's try this one on, see what they're talking about.
Watch what nail polish actually does to your toenail fungus. It's kind of surprising, but fungal spores are 1,000.
Right now at 6, urgent warnings to stay out of the Potomac tonight. The very latest from officials on that catastrophic on Fox Local.
That wasn't even a whole report. Oh my God. Let me see if I can find a full report. Let me go back up here to the New York Times. New York Post.
And new at 5:30, it's been nearly a month since the collapsed pipeline sent more than 200 million gallons of sewage into the Potomac River, according to D.C. Water.
Yeah, so for the first time since that spill, we are getting answers straight from officials. Rafael Sanchez Cruz, as our D.C. sister station, has the story.
D.C. Water never told news crews that this briefing was even happening. So I found out that they were meeting with D.C. council members from a source. That's how we were able to get down here and ask questions. But some of those answers from D.C. Water are still pending tonight.
D.C. Water officials say the segment of the Potomac Interceptor that collapsed last month was already scheduled for repairs later this summer.
The scale is 1 to 5. 5 being an emergency. A 3 is it's fair. And so the 3.5, it was fair.
What caused the pipe to break is still unknown, according to D.C. Water CEO David Gaddis.
It happened to break on us before we were able to get to it.
This update prompting concern among D.C. council members who were briefed Tuesday morning. No news cameras were allowed inside that briefing.
One of the issues for me was that there are 20 other areas that may need more attention to.
D.C. Water says emergency repairs are expected to be completed by mid-March.
We believe that we have contained all the spill from the break site since February 9th.
But when pressed by reporters, they were unable to answer if there's still any sewage flowing into the Potomac.
I think you're touching on the conversation we had earlier.
That was a response when officials were asked whether D.C. Water customers should expect a rate increase to help cover the cost of repairs for this major project. They also declined to say how much the district could ultimately be responsible for as the overall cost of the repairs continues to come into focus.
Those are conversations that we want to ensure we're following all of the council.
Inside the room, D.C. Water told council members Maryland would have to pay the brunt of the overall costs. How much? It's too soon to know.
During the briefing with the DC Council, we're told that DC's Director of Energy and the Environment allegedly said that he would eat the fish from the Potomac River. That's a stark contrast from the guidance by his own agency saying that residents and pets should avoid unnecessary contact with those waters. Outside the Wilson building, I'm Rafael Sanchez Cruz, WUSA 9.
I can't believe the sleep.
Well, let me share what there's been a back and forth between 45, 47 and Governor Westmore of Maryland. Let me show you what he has to say in a sit down about these questions of this sewage leakage.
I wanted to start with your dispute with President Donald Trump. He said this week that the polluted spill in the Potomac River is your fault, and you should call and ask for his help if you need it. Have you?
So what the president is talking about is a break in a DC pipe that took place on federal land. How Maryland gets caught up in this, I have no idea. That is just some very creative facts from the president of the United States. The reason that we were involved starting in early January when this first happened was because we heard from our neighbors about this break, and I wanted to make sure that there was no contagion that hit the state of Maryland, and I believe in helping your neighbors. And so that's why our Maryland Department of the Environment were some of the first boots on the ground, that they've been testing water quality, that they have assisted Washington, D.C. in their quest of being able to address the issue of the spillage, and why it's now been over a week since that issue of the spillage has now been solved. And now the problem is solved. Now the president wants to reach out and not just say that it's been our fault, which we had nothing to do with this, but also not acknowledging the fact that this was his responsibility. This was the federal government whose job it was to do this, and since they didn't do it, I did. And so if the president wants me to ask politely, here's my ask, Mr. President. Yes, I had to do your job for the past month, but please, will you please start doing your job?
I wanted to start with your dispute with President Donald.
Well, if you don't know, now you know. I hope you guys have a fabulous remainder of your day. Please do not curse in my chat. I would appreciate it. Oh, well, no, I won't even bother. Goodbye. Leonard, thank you for being here. Thank all of you for joining me this morning. Please hit the like button or double tap your screen. And I hope you have a great remainder of your day, and maybe I'll see you back here on tomorrow. All right, guys, I'm out of here.